90 Anajar and Levine Studios.
This is Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau.
Hey, what's happening on a Thursday here in Jacksonville, Florida? A day filled with meetings for me, hopefully a little more fun for you. But I like meetings when they get stuff done. I think we're doing that. Got some movement around here. And not just around here, they've been a little off campus. I would like it if we called this campus. I like ESPN 690 instead of 2.0, the next generation. I like that stuff. Like, I'm a sucker for that stuff.
Branding is what they call it.
That's
right?
branding. It's like motivational stuff on the walls that we need to put in quotes.
Broadcast like a champion today.
So why don't we do that? Why don't we have a sign to hit?
That's a good question.
Why didn't Arch Manning pick Notre Dame? Texas has been a funny thing for me. We're going to play the music the whole show?
Casey's very busy in that room.
I just want to get him fired up early.
Well, good news. We're already there. He was shot out of a cannon by about 1:15.
I love it.
God, it's good. I love it.
Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Aaron Schechter. And welcome to a Thursday. Texas is like, so, is there a more disappointing football program in the last 15 years in Texas?
Especially with the pedigree of that state with football.
Yeah, like USC would probably be in this conversation. And, like, I get it. There's so much history, so much tradition. But I think what you could argue a little bit about USC, like, they had some of the turmoil. They had some of, like, the stuff going on with some probations or NCAA investigations. They're still, like, you know, I think you could wonder about a place like USC before, like, Lincoln Riley went there. Are they what they used to be? Well, Texas, like, is what it is and even bigger than it was.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they signed, like, this big deal with their own TV. They've got the best TV rights in the Big 12. I mean, they should own the Big 12 along with Oklahoma. Heck, they can't do anything. Like, I mean, they were like a nothing. They were so disappointing. They run through coaches after coaches after coaches. They have all these recruits because that's the other thing. Like, USC also is going to get top recruits, I understand. But Texas is, like, getting some recruits. And they still can't make it work, which means they're just not identifying talent well or they're not developing them well. Well, now here comes the savior, Arch Manning, as they are about to go to the SEC with Oklahoma. And maybe this is like a perfect crescendo of sorts for the Texas Longhorns to say, we're back. But I'm telling you, I don't know. We don't talk a ton of college football here on the show, day in, day out. But I mean, we obviously watch it. We know it. We like it. And jumping, I mean, you think about teams that have passed by Texas, at least from a record standpoint, they're always going to be relevant. They're like the Knicks, right? The Knicks have been awful, but they're always relevant.
Yeah.
Because even when they're bad, they're relevant. So Texas will always be relevant in football. But, I mean, like, UCF has been 10 times better than Texas over the last 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, there are other schools in Texas that have been better than Texas.
Well, TCU and Texas A&M, obviously, and
Baylor's
Houston,
another one.
Baylor.
Yeah,
It's that wild. Like, I understand cyclical things. I mean, listen, the state of Florida hadn't been that good either, quite frankly, since Florida State won the national championship in 2000. Would that be 14? Right? And then they went back to the Final Four, or maybe it was 13 and then 14. The 2-year run. Outside of that, state of Florida has been very disappointing.
but you do always hear their name in these recruitment conversations. It's not necessarily a question of are they getting the names that the scouts are looking at, as opposed to putting it together on the field for some of these teams.
Yeah, and I read an article on Arch Manning, and I thought it was really cool. They went to the old school way of doing it. Like, he wasn't posting everything on social media. He had a buffer that was his coach. It wasn't like this team of people around him. He wasn't concerned about what's my NIL deal and all this stuff. It was a really good article. I tweeted it out. I tweeted it like a week and a half ago, and I thought it was a fresh article. I had just missed it. It was actually like a promoted article from April in The Athletic, and it was really neat. It was like this old school where his coach who obviously was entrusted by the Manning family anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's getting better advice than anyone with an agent.
But they left the emotion, the family name. They tried to take all that stuff out as much as you could in today's day and age. And it was really like this old school recruitment. Like, I already love the kid just for that. Like, I really like a kid that feels comfortable enough to know my name could be everywhere, every day, and I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. I want to go make the right decision. And I think he eventually narrowed down his top 5. I don't even think he announced it. I think he narrowed it down, or people narrowed it down, because that's who he had visited enough times, or at least spent the most time with. So, and this news, like, it wasn't like he said, hey, on Thursday, June 3rd, I'm going to announce my decision.
Yeah, it wasn't
just
a TV show or anything.
Came out.
Yeah.
And so, like, you respect that in today's day and age, where you're doing it a little bit different, and you could do it whatever the hell way you want to, because everybody's waiting.
Yeah.
So I like that. I already like the kid, is what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. But, like, why did he pick Texas then?
I like that he wasn't focused on the legacy schools from his family. He wasn't going to his grandfather's school. He wasn't going to either of his uncle's schools.
He entertained it, I will say. Like,
early
he did,
on,
yeah.
But they weren't finalists. And I thought
he did that almost as like a nod to them. Like, hey, I'm not going to dismiss you, but maybe I don't want to follow him.
You got to blaze your own path. And certainly, according to the people looking at his tape, he's got the skills to do it.
Casey, Arch Manning, the most sought-after recruit. Why would he pick Texas?
Yeah, I don't get it either. Texas is trash. I guess. I'm guessing that
not out of a cannon.
In his mind, if he's good at Texas and he brings them back, he's a legend out of, like, above anybody else in Texas. And I do agree with that. If they somehow win with him, yeah, he's a legend. But the weird part about that is, now granted, Arch Manning doesn't care about this at all, but shout out to the boy Quinn Ewers. They got the $1 million deal with
Ohio State,
and then transferred to Texas, and now is playing for Texas.
See, that's a great example, right? Like the Ewers, what is it?
I don't know, EWERS. I call him Ewers.
Yeah, he's never played like a snap yet, so we're supposed to, like, how do we even know his name?
And
right?
he's already transferred.
We haven't heard Gus Johnson say his name yet, but like, and no offense to the kid, like I also don't push it against the kid for going to take $1 million at the age of 18. Like, good for him.
He's also the kid that left high school early for that.
Yeah, but good for. Hey, listen, you know what?
I'm not mad at him.
I mean, if that's your career and you're going to make your living that way, go make it.
Yeah,
you don't need a degree to do it.
Fault those kids for some of that stuff. That might be actually a smart move in a lot of ways. But don't you kind of feel better about the way Arch Manning has done it, and almost like rooting for his success more than maybe like, that kid got $1 million, thinks he's all this, and he doesn't even play a snap at Ohio State. Now he transfers to Texas. I think there are people out there probably like, see that, kid? See that? Take your $1 million, but you ain't playing.
Yeah.
Well, he might play this year, right? Because Arch Manning's not going until.
Well, somebody's got to play for Texas, and aforementioned, they suck. So I would imagine they do let this kid play. And hopefully get him out of there before Arch shows up to the point where he's good, he moves on, because I think Arch is starting day one no matter what.
Yeah, I would say so too. I would think.
You almost have to.
I would think.
Can you imagine if they redshirt him?
Even before Arch let the world know he was going to Texas, there were already some rumblings from writers, Sports Illustrated, CBS, putting Texas at least in the top 25 in their way too early polls for next season. So Steve Sarkisian has a lot of people excited about this team, regardless of how pitiful that roster looked last year.
And by the way, what an opportunity for Sarkisian, right? I mean, to be able to go, USC has obviously some of his personal problems, and we're talking about USC. He goes to Alabama, everybody gets healed and cleaned and everything at Alabama, it seems like. And then you go to Texas. And so now you're talking about two programs that I just put in the same breath that Sarkisian has a chance to be at. And kind of maybe a similar situation in that respect for him is trying to get back to relevance. But a big coup, a big get to get. I mean, listen, the game is still recruiting. And if this kid is as good as advertised, then that was a heck of a get by Texas. And again, they're going to get players. I mean, Texas is Texas. Texas is cool. You know, I mean, there's a lot of cool things about Texas.
Of course.
I'm not a Texas hater. I just think it's really odd that Miami going away in football feels like, oh my gosh, what happened to them? But they don't play at the same game Texas and USC play. I mean, Texas and USC have empty pockets. Texas and USC is like the college version of Live Golf. And they still couldn't win.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't get it right.
You think a lot of that had to do with just the circus atmosphere that may go on at some of these programs?
Yeah,
Like they have all the resources in the world, all the up-to-date, super fancy technology and facilities. They get great 4, 3, 4, 5-star recruits and still can't put it together on the field. You got to wonder what's happening.
Well, I think what it shows us and what it should show us is that there are other things that matter than money to win. I mean, it's culture. It's probably some good people. It's direction. It's leadership. I don't have like these pillars of success. I'm just saying.
I think you got some good ingredients right there.
It's more than money, you know. Yeah. I always say this. NFL's a different animal than college, but as if Shad Khan could go buy a Super Bowl, I think he would.
Oh, sure.
You know, I mean, it just doesn't work that way. So anyway, Arch Manning goes to Texas, and we'll see if he can. They're never irrelevant, but he can put them back on the relevant winning map, if you will. I think will be something to watch. Here's how about this coming out? I think 24/7 Sports puts this up. Top QB recruit since 2014. Casey, how's this worked out? Kyle Allen from Texas A&M. He was actually pretty good at Texas A&M, wasn't he?
Kyle Allen.
Hey, you don't remember Kyle Allen? Yeah, I think he did okay at Texas A&M. Josh Rosen, UCLA.
What are you going from bottom to top?
I am, yeah.
Okay,
2014.
thank God. Josh Rosen, yeah.
Top 10 pick.
Well, listen, by the way.
Highlight of his career.
Well, listen here. I don't think it's fair to say how these guys did in the NFL either. I mean, this is from a collegiate standpoint. I mean, it's okay to parallel what they did in the NFL.
I mean,
but Josh Rosen,
he was okay.
Yeah, he was okay in college too, right? But he was certainly better in college than he was in the NFL.
He's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. More power to him.
Shea Patterson from Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And then Shea Patterson ended up at Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He went with Harbaugh.
And by the way, just was like never jumped off the page at you.
He was very high. Like you have it in front of you. I don't, but he was very highly rated. Obviously,
no, these are like he was like the top recruit. This is what this is. This is the top QB recruit.
No, I know. I'm saying like it's wild to me that there's somebody in that class. I forget who it was. It's like a goat. Maybe it was Allen. It might be Josh Allen.
Maybe it is. Yeah, Wyoming. Yeah. How about this name might surprise you a little bit, guys. Davis Mills. He was the top QB recruit going to Stanford. I did not realize that.
I remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Getting his shot.
Well, in 18, our guy, Trevor.
Yep.
Sure.
Who, by the way, listen, he has to upset the trend because so far we got Kyle Allen, Josh Rosen, Shea Patterson, and Davis Mills, who aren't necessarily like going to Canton.
Sure. Although Davis is back for a second year as a starter.
Davis did the best.
He's there.
But Trevor Lawrence and then Spencer Rattler.
That's right.
After that, Bryce
Carolina.
Young. Okay, I think Young has a chance to live up to some of this. And Trevor certainly did. And Davis Mills wasn't bad at Stanford, but he wasn't like, oh my gosh, it's the best thing I've ever seen, Heisman Trophy winner, all that stuff.
Right.
Here's your Ewers guy, Quinn Ewers from Ohio State, $1 million per snap. And how do you say this kid's name? That's now at Clemson, Clade Klubnik. He was last year.
Oh.
Like he hasn't even played yet either. He's this year. For Clemson. And they've got the top QB recruit, and then now Arch Manning for 23. So
what's interesting about that is Pat, like most of the, besides Trevor, like I feel like a lot of those guys didn't finish where they started.
Well, that is true too.
Patterson definitely didn't. I guess Davis did. Did Rosen start at UCLA?
I think he did.
Maybe there's only a couple.
I think now, Casey, to your point, I think you almost have to go after Trevor because it's a new age.
That's fair.
Like, I mean, this is that new.
True.
Where it's free agent. You don't have to sit out, right? Mm-hmm. You've got the COVID year. You've got all these different – it's just a new ballgame. I mean, that's – Trevor Lawrence, like, by the time he got to Clemson, the game changed that much in the last, like, 4 or 5 years. That I don't even think Trevor – if Trevor had decided to leave his third year at Clemson and go to Georgia, I think he still would have had to sit out. Now
yes.
You don't have to do that.
Well, yeah, because Fields was in his class and Fields had to sit out.
Well, there you go. Good point. So
there was another one. Oh, that class was loaded, by the way. JT Daniels, Matt Corral, Emory Jones.
Man.
A lot of good ones in that one.
Some good players.
Well, a lot of names you've heard. I mean, Emory Jones and Matt Corral, it turned out to be very good.
Yeah,
JT Daniels was okay because of injury mostly.
Yeah, but as a top 5?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What other thing? Do you think kids now go to college thinking I might go somewhere else?
Especially if you go to Texas.
You know what I mean? Like
another college,
you know, like,
mean?
yeah, like another. Yeah, I'm going to transfer, right?
Yeah, I think it's all possible to them now, right?
Yeah, like when let's say I take a job in Alexandria, Louisiana, my first job. I'm like, okay, I'm not here forever, right? Like I know that. By the time I get to Jacksonville, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, who knows? I've been bouncing around a little bit, but I might be here forever. Like you used to go to a college and be like, I'm here for 4 years.
Sure,
Like, that's what
it
you
was
signed up
4.
for.
It was 4 years. Yeah, it wasn't 3 with a red shirt or something. It was, you were playing 4 years.
So, like, has the mentality totally changed where it seems like such a pain in the ass to transfer? It's like you got to get credit hours going over. You got to move different places. You got to have new friends. You got to, like, none of those things, like, you like. Like, those aren't fun things.
These are good
U-Hauls,
points.
moving trucks, like, none of those things are fun. Like, you like things to be the same. Get comfortable. Get acclimated. Have friends, like, you hang out with. And, like, it feels like, this is not true, but it feels like 90% of today's college athletes, like, I don't care. I'll go here next.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking, I hate moving, right? But if someone's going to come to me and be like, hey, I'll give you $500K to do it, then I'm going.
Wow, that's true. I mean, that's why we move jobs.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
really
so that's
move
what
for
these kids are.
$500K, but
But these kids are getting a little piece of that too. Like they're hearing on these before they hop in the transfer portal, they're getting their deals set up with their representation, buffers or not.
Casey, if you're a pitcher,
Yeah.
which you were, but if you're now like this recruited pitcher, you don't even have to be like the number one pitcher in the country. I'm just saying you're you're really good. You're a big guy, 6'5". You can chuck it now. You're throwing 94. You're gonna play in like the ACC, and you go in there and you're like, hey, I'm going to North Carolina, and I'm going to North Carolina, and I'm gonna be Tar Heel for 4 years. Or you're like, you know what? Like, I'm going to North Carolina, and you know what? If things don't work out, that's okay, because then I'm going to go to LSU. Like, I just don't know where the mindset of an athlete today is right now. That, by the way, that kid, which I always say is very hard, you have to usually commit when you're like 15 years old to that decision.
Which is insane.
Which is stupid, right? Because nobody can make a good decision at 15 years old. You can get lucky, but you don't make a good decision at 15, probably.
Maybe they go into it the same way people go into like personal relationships, where you enter it going, this is forever. What a great thing. I'm so happy. And then like a couple of months in, you don't like your running backs, or maybe this coach doesn't treat you right, and you got a friend over on that team, maybe an NIL deal waiting in place. Like there are things that will seduce you away from where you are, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to look at it, because we try to pin this generation. I really don't like doing that, like this generation, the label them, this, blah, blah, blah. And I know there are probably some truisms there, but I also just don't like doing that. I think you could probably do that about any walk of life. I think you got to be careful about labeling. And we do it anyway, and I kind of have fun doing it sometimes, but we got to be careful to do it. And so I just think, like, what we say about kids is they want to transfer now. Like, you get the old school coaches do this all the time. They want to transfer because they don't want to compete when they got some more talent coming in. It's like, no, that's not really true, I don't think. I think they were promised something, and the coach didn't deliver on it, most likely, and they try to replace them, and they did nothing to develop. And so there are some more circumstances to it. But what I would acknowledge is it's not that they don't want to compete. It's that now you go in with the idea like, hey, if this or this or this doesn't work out, I'll just go somewhere else.
Very much
and so.
Yeah.
When you allow, like, before, if you went to school 10 years ago, it was really a pain in the ass to transfer. And you didn't want those thoughts entering your mind. Well, now you're like, if it happens, it happens. So now those thoughts are welcomed into your mind. Like, I really don't like this coach.
Yeah.
Thought I liked him a few years ago, but I don't.
Not so much.
So now let's Mom, let's start looking at another place.
Or the coach who recruited you is gone.
Well, that has happened for a while, but now you have some flexibility.
Yeah, now you got leverage. You got a chance to move out.
So I just find that fascinating. The whole recruiting thing is interesting to me anyway, and how the whole deal works. But I do wonder if people. How about this? We live in like this baseball, softball world, right? And so I say to some people when I have conversations, I think the way to do it right now, and in case you probably know this a little bit, to fill you in, Aaron, the baseball world is full of 24-year-old kids because of COVID and everything else. So you have an 18-year-old kid going into college that's going to try to beat out a 24-year-old man, okay? Even if the kid's good, he's got to go beat out this guy who's got 400 at-bats already. He's played 5 years.
Way more developed.
Maybe 2 different places, and he's a grown man with like 2 kids. right? And so what I say, actually, I think if I was a top-notch player, I would look at a smaller level for my first year or two, and then with the plan to get into the SEC or ACC after that. So I'm not sitting down on the bench the whole time. Instead, I'm getting action. Hey, maybe I like it here anyway, but I'm probably performing well because I'm better than a lot of these guys.
So you're taking the JUCO model and you're applying it to the four-year university.
A little bit. Yeah. Or in baseball, the JUCO model really works well anyway because you can do all that. But even the JUCO model used to be 2-year school for a lot of these guys. These guys are on their 4th year of JUCO. Again, I mean, it's crazy. It's a wild world. So, I actually think if I had a stud kid that could play in the SEC and probably not going to play right away, but could be a part of the program, I might advise them to go play a little lower level D1 and go play and
makes
perform
sense.
And then go there.
Yeah, get some time on the field.
So it's a 2-step roadmap in college even before I get there. Pretty wild. Yep. It's just changed the game. Arch Manning go to Texas. That's how we got on all this. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly to partly sunny, a hot day today with just an isolated afternoon storm. Most spots stay dry as temperatures reach the mid to upper 90s. Feel like temperatures approaching 110. Down in the low to mid 70s tonight, partly sunny, hot and humid tomorrow. Better chance for some heavy afternoon storms, highs near 95. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds.
Zero hassle, zero pressure, zero middleman. Just great deals only at Beard's Diamonds.
This man has just entered the gas price madness zone, pushed over the edge by skyrocketing gas prices. The remedy? Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Hey, wait a minute. Did you just say there's a free app I can get that'll actually pay me cash back on every gallon of gas I buy?
Yes. Escape the gas price madness zone with the Upside app and earn real cash back on every gallon of gas you buy.
Yeah. Enough of the theatrics. Just tell me more about this Upside app.
Okay, it's super easy. Just download the free app and use it whenever you buy gas. Upside users can earn hundreds of dollars in cash back.
Wow, thanks, announcer guy. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PICK for an extra 25 cents per gallon or more cash back on your first fill up. You can cash out anytime. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PICK for a 25 cents per gallon or more bonus on your first tank.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are energized by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab a free sample of Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
Get a $1,000 bonus when you pre-order the all-new 3-row 2022 Acura MDX SUV at your First Coast Acura dealers. Shop market-leading APR offers and pre-order savings at firstcoastacuradealers.com. Shop loyalty appreciation offers.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tim Tebow here, and I'm so excited to see you at my event, Faith, Food, and Football at Daly's Place on July 17th. I believe it's going to be an awesome day full of encouragement and fun for you and the family. There's going to be a worship service, a youth football clinic led by IMG Academy, motivational speakers, and all kinds of food provided by local restaurants. Tickets are on sale now at www.faithfoodandfootball.com. Can't wait to see you all there. God bless.
Hi, this is Keith Gurr, president of America Window Products. We are Jacksonville's oldest replacement window company. We have been providing excellent service for over 38 years and still have an A+ rating. At America Window Products, we have helped over 36,000 homeowners, and we don't use subcontractors. Right now, we're offering a free installation on 6 or more windows, as well as a free energy package. Go to AmericanWindowProducts.com and click for an estimate. That's AmericanWindowProducts.com. American Window Products, we are the window professionals.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
You know what's great about getting older? The toys are way cooler. Spring is here, and it's playtime.
Yeah!
And 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, has slash loan rates across the board on all the toys. Motorcycles, jet skis, boats, RVs, ATVs, even golf carts. And it's fun and potentially dangerous. 1-to-1 Financial has the perfect loan to help you finance it. Check out our rock bottom rates and apply now at 1to1fcu.org. Come out and play. Federally insured by NCUA.
Life can be shattered in a moment. When that happens, you need a big law firm to fight for you. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
When you look at it right now, what it's saying is, now, some teams can go out and spend frivolously and just irresponsibly, but ultimately you got to pay the piper, right? Because you only can pay so much money out there. So now it makes other teams that have these NIL deals that they're going to have to make sure that they're strategic and understand who they can get. Ultimately, this is what the mid majors and smaller programs that wasn't Power Fives always had to do. But now we have Power Fives like Alabama saying, okay, listen, we know that Texas has this guy, we can't compete with him, or Texas A&M is eyeing this guy, we can't compete with him. So let's go out and let's get the second best guy. Let's focus on them. Let's show him more love, and maybe he'll leave some money on the table.
That is Bart Scott from Bart and Hahn. We're still trying to figure out the eighth word of that statement.
Could have been a few options there.
Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Aaron Schachter, Brian Middleton a little bit later. Action Sports Jax OT, part of a 4-hour run here on the show. 4 years, almost, actually. That's
pretty close.
It used to be like, heck, hopefully we make it to 4 years. I think we're going to do it.
Downside of that mountain right now.
Work on the birthday bash, will you? Start planning now. We think we're going to make it. Knock on wood.
Casey, you jump out of a birthday cake at that thing or no?
Would have to be a big cake.
Casey, what were you mad at? The Rays aren't even playing.
Ryan McMahon's on my fantasy team, and he watched a pitch down the middle. Swing the bat, bum.
I mean, golly. I mean, the amount of angst out of that was like a little much for Rays not even playing. I mean, that was like a
Dude, it was down the middle.
MF-er.
Swing the bat. Try.
Sometimes. The problem, sometimes like the big leaguers look so bad because they guess so much. They look really bad.
Well, you look bad at taking strike 3 down the middle.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the big leaguers look the worst out of anybody on a strikeout, like more often than others, because they guess, because they have all this data. And so, like, okay, on a 3-2 count or whatever, usually you go breaking ball here, so I'm thinking breaking ball, and then boom, fastball right down the middle. It's like, what the heck were you looking at, dude? It was like a 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
I don't disagree with you. What were you looking for, though? Yeah.
Hey,
it's a two-pitch.
By the way,
two-pitch mix.
Exact quote I said to Tim Wakefield. I'm sorry, to Aaron Boone after he hit a home run off Tim Wakefield. What were you looking for?
It wasn't the knuckleball.
He said a knuckleball, of course. You just stole my line.
Yeah,
I like that.
Speaking of knuckleballs, I don't know if you guys, I know Brent, chances are you're not on TikTok that much.
No,
you don't
never.
seem like a TikTok-y kind of guy.
But we're going to get on there.
But I check out this wiffle ball account on TikTok. You ever watch these pictures in wiffle ball?
I haven't seen the TikTok. I've seen the YouTube. My kids see it.
It's the same thing.
Or it's the same guys?
Insanity.
Well, I mean, it's a similar style.
It's
There's
just
like
crazy
leagues
wiffle ball
and such.
pitches. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you guys. I know I teased this like a couple weeks ago.
We're finally getting back to
No,
it.
listen, I've got a lot better
Hope
at
you
that.
held
I
on,
used to
folks.
tease so much, and like a week later, I'd be like, oh, shoot, I forgot
Look,
to talk
so
about
did The
that.
Sopranos, so don't worry about it.
But anyway, there was this house in like Scottsdale, Arizona that is up for sale for like $1.9 million.
Oh, you could afford that.
So it's like this big house, of course, and it's in Scottsdale, a nice area.
Sure.
But they built like a real wiffle ball park.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was really cool. It's like, man, that would be awesome. Like
That's so great.
I would buy that house like if I just had money rolling everywhere.
You ever stuff wiffle ball bats when you were a kid? As soon as I figured out how to do that, I thought I invented like sliced bread. It was the coolest thing.
Wiffle ball is still awesome. Like it would really be cool to have a wiffle ball field at your house.
Oh, no, an adult league even.
Yeah,
That's a lot of fun.
You know
I'm
what we
surprised
used to
there's
do?
not more of that. Like there's kickball leagues and there's not wiffle ball leagues. How is that?
We used to break aluminum bats and then put tennis balls in them.
How'd you put them back together? Like duct tape?
Yeah, you just take the cap off.
Of
shove
the top.
Oh,
the
yeah, the top. Yeah.
It was sick.
I'm
Kids used
thinking of doing that for Ty's bats.
You should.
You think they'll check them?
Little juice.
We could use a little juice.
When they
Ty's
hear
hitting
it,
500-foot bombs. Doink. You're like,
What
what?
gets your attention?
He's doing more push-ups.
I need like the Albert Bell bat for the Wood Bat League.
Albert Bell's
Hey,
a
by
good
the way,
pull.
that bat you got, Ty Casey, was that corked? I mean, that would have been really nice.
Do you want me to say on the air?
The NBA draft is tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we care?
Next topic.
The NBA being right down the road. Here's why I do care. I think this is actually a big deal. And I genuinely don't care about the draft. Like I'm not locked in. I probably won't even watch.
Nope.
But I do find this fascinating because for our audience in the region of the country we live in this state, I think the parallels of sorts with our friends down in Orlando and the Magic and the Jacksonville Jaguars at times have been interesting. And I also believe deep down, and I don't know if I'm correct on this, but I believe, let's just say in the next 5 years, the Jags in year, not this year, but next year they go to the playoffs. And the next year they go to the playoffs. In year 4, they win the Super Bowl. And year 5, we've got all this hype. And in that same time span, the Magic aren't too good next year, but then they make a little playoff run. And that year 5, when Jags have already won the Super Bowl, they go win the NBA championship.
All right.
Right? Or at least they're in the mix. There's just a lot of buzz and the moves that they're making now are wow, stud NBA guy, and he's one of the stars of the league. I think the balance of that in this Central Florida on up will be felt. I think it's not earthquake kind of feel, but I think it can be felt from Jacksonville that they're having that success and vice versa. I think the Jags, because they're the NFL especially, can bleed down into Daytona and the east side of Orlando. I mean, you got a part of that that's got Tampa, but Tom Brady's out of the picture by then, and Tampa sucks again, and all that stuff. So, I really do believe we can feel and support it and not compete against each other in that vein. These are two cities that I'm not sure they love each other. And from a sports standpoint, I'm yeah, we hate the traffic in Orlando. It's way better to live here in Jacksonville. The NFL's better than the NBA. The Magic are more relevant than the Jags have been over the last decade, and the Jags haven't even been that relevant. Those kind of things. So there's back and forth from a living standpoint, from a sports standpoint. But I actually think we could all be on the same team for once. If they had success and we had success in our big sports, and it could bleed into each other and be very supportive. I think it would be a fun spot to be in, and something you might be able to remind me. But when were in the late '90s? Were the Magic any good? Was that when they were good?
In the '90s they were good, and then they were good again for a little bit, and then they blew it all up recently.
So did you feel that people who are listening, if you lived, did you feel the Magic and Jags thing at all, in the late '90s? I don't know, but as somebody who wasn't here for that and has never been here for them being good, quite frankly, for any sustained amount of time, I feel like let's just say my scenario happened in the 5 years.
Yeah.
I think that would have an impact on both cities from a sports fanatical standpoint.
Well, from a Jacksonville, Orlando frame of view, it makes the most sense only because Orlando doesn't have the NFL and Jacksonville doesn't have the NBA. The other big cities in this state, like a Tampa, like a Miami, they have those professional teams that they could then,
even go up the road to Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly.
Charlotte,
So I do understand what you're saying. I can't remember a time where anyone I've ever met in this entire city, in the 5-county area, or even the much wider Northeast Florida, gave a rip about the Orlando Magic. I've just never seen it.
Yeah, and I haven't either. I
love basketball.
The only reason I don't think the Magic are the most irrelevant team, or one of the most irrelevant teams in all of professional sports is, and especially the state of Florida, is because I think the Florida Panthers are more irrelevant, even when they're good.
Heck yeah.
There it is.
I seriously, I say that. I've now said it like a million times, and I'm not trying to hate on Florida.
I am.
The Panthers. It doesn't matter win or lose to me. I'm just telling you, I have to look up every 3 years that the Florida Panthers still play in Florida.
You and the people that work at the arena.
I know the Magic still play.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's wild. I mean, Florida Panthers are the most irrelevant franchise I've ever run into. And listen, brother, this sounds like Florida Panthers fans listen right now, oh, yeah, great. Radio guy in Jacksonville. Talk about irrelevant. The Jags have stunk. The Magic guys are all like, hey, yeah, Jags been really good, Brent. Listen, it's the NFL, people. It's bigger than you.
Yeah.
Even if you're irrelevant and bad in the NFL, you're not irrelevant. Go look at how many stories in the last week are about Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, no, it's a great point.
So, I mean, they're even counting his Bitcoin.
There ain't none about the Florida Panthers bums.
So that's my point. And I'm not doing this as we're better than you. I'm just saying that's reality. The Florida Panthers are as irrelevant as a franchise, good or bad.
Tell you what.
The Orlando Magic, I think, have been so irrelevant. And in a world, by the way, in a league that if you are relevant, you get global attention. In the NBA. And the Jags, they haven't been good, but they certainly have been relevant because all the number one picks or top 5 picks,
they're always
or
talked
the
about.
changing coaches, or the one good year, or the quarterbacks, or back when it was Maurice Jones-Drew. I mean, there's plenty of reasons for the Jags to have been relevant over that time. So, I don't know. I just feel like it could be a great time. I like happiness for everybody.
Sure.
Except the Panthers.
No, I don't mind happiness for the Panthers. It's just 3 people.
Yes.
So
that's a very small parade.
Well done, Brent.
It's a small parade.
They wouldn't get one. I'm dead serious. The city of Miami would be like, who? The Panthers.
I do wonder, though. I seriously wonder if that would be a huge boom to the sports fan. So the other part of this tonight for the Magic is I think about it in the Jags context. Is this a turning point for their organization? Now, I don't believe there's a Trevor Lawrence waiting in the wings here. You guys probably follow even more than me, and you would know. Do you guys feel that way? Ben Caro, Jabari Smith. I mean, any of these guys I
think you got some good players there. I don't know that you
good,
have a cornerstone of your
Trevor?
franchise.
No.
And proof is in the pudding. I mean, Magic are probably looking to trade that pick. So if there was a franchise, cornerstone in there, they'd probably be holding on for dear life.
None of those guys are even Justin Fields.
Well, that's interesting. That's a good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it. Because I'm not sure the Jags pick Justin Fields. He even comes close to the hype and all the rest of Trevor Lawrence. He's franchise QB, but I think that's why it's a good point because Trevor coming to your team versus, and I like Justin Fields, coming to your team versus Justin Fields feels like 10x Trevor.
Well, I mean, Trevor as a freshman was anointed as the next Andrew Luck type franchise quarterback player. So, I mean, in those terms, you're right. But I still think if the Jags ended up with Justin Fields instead of Trevor, he'd still be celebrated as the future.
Oh, I agree. And by the way, this young man tonight might be for Orlando.
Sure.
And it might prove out to be. But so that's really what I look at. Listen, I'm rooting for the Magic to get better. I mean, they've been bad for so long.
They'll get better tonight.
And so you'd think they'd get better tonight.
Whether
and
they
also
trade
have
it or
a couple good players already there in their nucleus that they've started to build.
Sure.
In all seriousness, the Magic have good players.
They do. It feels like they've started to turn it a little bit.
I think so. I think Suggs is really good. He didn't play a lot this year, so people are kind of not sold on him, but I think he's really good. Cole Anthony is good.
Yeah, they had 2 lottery guys last year.
Franz Wagner was the other one. He's good enough. Mo Bamba was a miss. They missed on Mo Bamba, but his song is an absolute banger. But
what do we go back to, though? Where did it start going wrong? Like Oladipo?
See, the thing about Oladipo is, he was good, but they had nothing else.
Yeah. No, I think he was a good player, too, but then they couldn't. It's like they couldn't keep him, couldn't build around him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not necessarily him. It's just it's like that's where they missed. It felt like.
Yeah, they never. I think they thought he was going to be better than he was in terms of a one-man show. You had Vucevic for a long time.
That was the last time they were in the playoffs.
He was very good.
He was a good player, very underrated player.
But
really.
they missed a lot. Like Jonathan Isaac was supposed to be really good, and he
hasn't done much, right?
Yeah, he never really played. He's been hurt a lot. Like I said, Mo Bamba. But when they drafted, I think Cole Anthony was the first guy in this new nucleus they have that they drafted. And then from there, they've gotten Suggs and Wagner and Carter and all those guys. So it has gotten better, but it was bad for a bit.
It's a really young team. I mean, you're not going to I think there's something like only 2 guys on the roster with more than 4 years experience right now.
That's true.
Listen, do you think that Jonathan Isaac, I've seen people, by the way, and the odds-on favorite here is Jabari Smith. Paulo Banchero from Duke, he's next. But I've heard people, I've seen some coverage this week. It's not like I'm really locked in on it, but I've seen some coverage where Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga, people think is the best two-way player and best guy to get.
Yeah, me and Casey disagree on that.
He's 7'2" and weighs 195 pounds. Is the Jonathan Isaac stuff does that keep them away from Holmgren just because of the body type? Does it almost remind them of?
I think they're considering him.
Well, of course they should be considering. But do you know what I'm saying? Like this tall, skinny guy.
I'm not drafting the man.
And I don't even.
He's really
he's
tiny.
He is
thin.
skinny, man.
Yeah.
That concerns me. It's a physical game in the NBA.
Forget about just the injury concerns. The fact that you got a bump down low with guys who weigh 275, 250.
Well, that's the thing for me. He weighs 190. Banchero weighs 255, and they play the same position.
See, that's what I like about Banchero.
Same,
right? I mean, I think they're going to go Jabari Smith, and I think that's okay. But the reason I like Banchero here is because what is he? 6'10", 250. I mean,
Banchero is He's 6
playing any spot on the floor.
They said he's still growing. I read a thing that he's up to 6'11" without shoes, which puts him over 7 feet in shoes.
Yeah, that's you can't teach that. You know, not that you can teach 7'2" and 196 pounds either. That's tough to teach, but but I like that the body on Banchero is what separates him a little bit for me. Again, I don't like this deep dive, but there's probably some red flags on him, too, that concern. And Jabari Smith, I think, has a chance. I do think Jabari Smith, if there's one stud out of this draft, for my money, I'd put it on him. And he's a favorite anyway to go first. But that doesn't always make that guy the stud. It could be just a better fit.
He's either, this is going to sound dumb, but it's true. He's either going to be the best or the worst. There's no in between.
Think there's that much boom or bust with him?
He's great or horrible.
And also, don't forget, up until May, whatever day, I forget his name now. What's the Holmgren? Up until May, all these kids were 19 years old. I mean, these are young kids.
Yeah, they are young. Yeah, it's still a young game in the NBA like that, and that's okay.
So give me the 6'11" guy, 255 at 19.
Yeah, that's still growing. He's not even a man yet, right? By the way, Jaden Ivey's a fun player to watch, too. Whoever ends up with him, he could be the most exciting guy out of this draft.
There are a couple exciting players in the draft.
Yeah. I got to be honest. I'm not super excited about it, but I love the idea of the Orlando Magic. I like to see where they go here, and I'm rooting for them to get it right as much as we're rooting for the Jags to have gotten it right with Trevor Lawrence and now Trayvon Walker. It can change your franchise. If you're going to pick there, hit a home run and change your damn franchise. Hopefully Magic can do it. Hopefully the Jags have already done it. We'll be right back on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and and Max.
When you look at a schedule, it reveals more than even the schedule what you really think about that team. Bad teams, their schedules always look brutal because they're no good, so you don't think they're going to win many games. Good teams, you look at the schedule, oh, it's not so bad because they're favored in a lot of those games. I guess I would also take the under on the Jets, but just. Like, I think 5.5 games is right. I'll take the under.
GJ and Max, followed by Greeny. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
O'Reilly. If your vehicle squeals or grinds when you slow down or just isn't stopping like it used to, you may need new brake rotors and pads. Now through June 28th at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 15% off a set of Brake Best Select or Import Direct brake pads and 2 rotors. Restore safe braking and save money now at O'Reilly Auto Parts or order online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The following is furnished by Retirement Planners of America. Past performance is no guarantee of future results.
The stock market has seen all-time highs this past year, but are we due for a crash? If so, does your retirement plan include an exit strategy? Call today at 866-374-0841 to schedule a free retirement assessment to learn about protecting your assets from a market collapse. That's 866-374-0841. 866-374-0841.
Honey, I'm home.
Don't honey me. I'm still mad at you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You and those cheap do-it-yourself cameras. I told you, call SafeTouch, but no, you tried to save a buck. So when those 2 thieves broke in, our kids were locked in the closet trying to call 911. SafeTouch cameras would have alerted the thieves that they were being recorded, and you and I would have been notified with actual video on our smartphones. The SafeTouch two-way communicator would have already had the emergency authorities on the way.
I know, we really need the SafeTouch 5-star security and surveillance system. I'll call today.
I already did. SafeTouch is installing our new 5-star surveillance system in the morning.
Every family needs the SafeTouch security and surveillance system. Call now and get a free demonstration. 888-723-8682 or online at safetouch.com. Dramatization of actual event. EF 0000233. Terms and conditions apply.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Happy anniversary to them. Put their experience to work for you. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. I've had mine for a handful of years now. Absolutely love it at the house. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Call today and save hundreds, even thousands on a complete home solution for city and well water. Financing available with approved credit. And because the professionals at CGC Water are committed to being your go-to water experts, you can trust their master plumber with all your plumbing needs as well. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Right now, you can take advantage of the $75 drain cleaning special. Call for details. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer. Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for 2 at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at ActionSportsJaxDream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to ActionSportsJaxDream18.com.
Napa know-how.
At Napa, when you take care of your ride, we take care of you. That's why a $25 digital gift card can be yours when you buy 10 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic Motor Oil products at Napa Auto Parts.
That's a reward for rewarding your ride and a way to treat yourself after treating your motor. So give your ride the premium motor oil it deserves and get rewarded in return.
Napa know-how.
Offer ends 10/31/22. Void where prohibited. Terms apply. For complete details, visit pennzoil.com/rewards.
Hey, it's Brent Mortno from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
They have to. They have to. And if you listen to Bobby Marks break it all down, he said that the Knicks do have young players that will be attractive to the Sacramento Kings. Now, how many of those guys do they actually want to give up? What their appetite for that is, we don't know. But what we do know is the Knicks have got to solve the riddle of who their point guard is going to be. They haven't been able to figure that out for a couple of decades. That could be Leon Rose's biggest contribution to this franchise so far. He hadn't taken a big swing yet, Harlan. Tonight could be the night where he actually gets that done.
A lot of NBA chatter.
Casey, what do you think the over-under on moves is tonight? I was thinking
like yesterday already, right?
First round moves, I was putting at like 2.5 for tonight.
Oh, I'd go over. I mean, like the NBA. This is why I think the NBA draft suffers
because of all the movement.
Yeah, because like you'll get a pick. Whoever's picking third, I don't even know. The Celtics or whatever picking. And it's not the Magic, but I'm talking like the 4th overall pick or Sacramento Kings or whatever. They'll pick somebody, and 20 minutes later, they'll trade them away. And it's so bizarre. It works so differently than like everybody's favorite draft, which is the NFL draft. If you were going to pick or eventually trade that guy, you wouldn't pick him first.
Right. You would trade the pick.
Trade the pick and then go get who you want.
Yeah.
It seems like such a bass-ackwards way to do it, Casey.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea.
I would say over 2.5 for sure, though. I mean, there's always movement.
Because here's my total viewing of the NBA draft. First pick, FIFA. That's kind of how it goes. So.
FIFA.
I won't know unless you tell me. I can. Do you know over under how many games I'm going to win on FIFA tonight?
Should be good show prep for tomorrow.
I'll look at the list when it's done.
How did the first 5 picks go? We won't talk about it much tomorrow anyway. Don't worry about
He'll be like, I don't know about the first 5, but let me tell you about this FIFA game I played last night.
Tell you what.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how much movement there. You know what the other crazy thing that gets me about the draft, I think, even after all these years, is we still get excited about the 7th round pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Heck, we get excited about the undrafted free agent.
Sure.
If you're a 2nd round pick, which means you're one of the top 40 prospects. Really, it's more than that. But let's just say you're a top 40 prospect. You get picked 38th. Like, the chances of you making the roster are like 40%. That's not true. I'm just throwing it out. But you're not even you might not make the team. In the NFL, you better go get like 6 sacks and 2 forced fumbles and a pick.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that crazy?
You're looking for starters, yeah.
Isn't that wild that the 2nd round, the next 30 best guys might not even make the squad? And obviously you got small rosters, that's why. But it just is a weird thing to process.
You're right.
And if you're a 2nd round pick, like, holy cow, man, 2nd round pick, you were awesome. Good for you. You didn't make it.
G League, baby.
Yeah. It's essentially the second page of the Google search. No one really cares. Casey's already been playing FIFA for hours at that point.
I've been on for hours. I am games and games in.
That's a really good call. Like, if you were to sell just the first page of Google versus the next page of Google, the drop-off would be
immense. Crazy.
I mean, let's just say, like, I've heard Google, like, they actually are valued at more than, like, a lot of countries in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
They have a GDP higher than a lot of countries, yeah.
So, but let's just, for this sake, easy numbers say it's $100 billion. Okay, for the first page of Google.
Okay.
And Google, by the way, has a lot more than just Google search. I get it. Right. But for the next page, it would be like $1 million.
Yeah, or less, yeah. Yeah, I can't remember a time in the last 10 years I've clicked on that second page.
No, like I scroll down and I see those numbers. I'm like, well, I'm not finding what I'm looking for. It's a crazy thing how you can be that successful off one page.
Yeah. What a product.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We'll talk about the Lightning. We'll really get in the head of Casey here along the way. And some football chatter as well on ESPN 690. Walk into 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center, and it doesn't feel like you're going to the doctor's. Beautiful artwork of Jacksonville on the south side location, a laid-back atmosphere, and Rep Butler and his staff are really fun to talk to, and they are there to help you out. First-time appointments and adjustments, just $39 and maybe less pending your insurance. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. 3 locations, south side, St. Augustine, and the west side. Look them up at 904chiro.com. 3 locations, 904chiro.com.
This man has just entered the gas price madness zone, pushed over the edge by skyrocketing gas prices. The remedy? Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Hey, wait a minute. Did you just say there's a free app I can get that'll actually pay me cash back on every gallon of gas I buy?
Yes. Escape the gas price madness zone with the Upside app and earn real cash back on every gallon of gas you buy.
Yeah. Enough of the theatrics. Just tell me more about this Upside app.
Okay, it's super easy. Just download the free app and use it whenever you buy gas. Upside users can earn hundreds of dollars in cash back.
Wow, thanks, announcer guy. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PICK for an extra 25 cents per gallon or more cash back on your first fill up. You can cash out anytime. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PICK for a 25 cents per gallon or more bonus on your first tank.
A new era is here for Jaguars football. New championship-winning coach, new superstars, and new optimism. One consistent this fall is Tailgaters Parking will still be delivering the very best tailgating experience at the bank all season. Tailgaters Parking doesn't just talk a big game. They're right across the street from TIAA Bank Field. Offer clean, permanent restrooms, food options, a full liquor bar, and all parking spots are on a well-kept grass lot. Check out Tailgaters Parking at tailgatersparking.com to reserve your spot today.
Hi, I'm Mike Combs, professional contractor and TV host. I love helping people, but when it came to improving the water in my own home, I needed help and turned to the water experts at Connecticut to make it right. My water was causing visible problems throughout my home, and it got me thinking about the problems I couldn't see. Protecting my water-using appliances and pipes, preventing stains and hardness buildup, and having clean, great-tasting drinking water are all important to me. But choosing the right water treatment equipment can be tricky. That's where Connecticut comes in. A Connecticut water expert will test your water for free and recommend the system that fits your needs and budget. Improve the quality of your water and your life with the Connecticut water treatment system. I'm so glad I did.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com for your free assessment. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
On the town, you own it. On the go, you own it. On the job, you own it. At Community First Credit Union, you can own it all. There's nobody quite like you. So be yourself and bank your way at Community First. Get free checking with rewards, your paycheck deposited a day early, and free digital tools so you're always in control of your money and have more of it. Go ahead and own it. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Summer is in full swing and the deals are heating up at Lowe's. Find 4th of July savings to keep your yard looking healthy the whole season. Protect your soil from the heat with a bag of Scott's Naturescapes mulch, now 3 for $10. And celebrate the 4th with our select 2.5-quart red, white, and blue annuals, 2 for $10. Find more savings this 4th of July at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Valid 6/23 through 7/6 while supplies last. Annuals offer in-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
So sticky.
At Hannah's Organic Honey, business may be sweet, but they need an e-commerce queen bee to lead the hive.
Okay, these jars are going to Jakarta. Oh, wait a minute. Does that say Jackson?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Austin, Texas will be Arch's place for college football. New Orleans high school quarterback Arch Manning will inherit the family business when he joins coach Steve Sarkisian and the Longhorns in 2023. Manning is the grandson of Archie and the son of Cooper, Peyton and Eli's brother. Brooklyn hosts the NBA draft tonight. Our ESPN radio coverage tips off at 7 Eastern. At this point, it seems the Magic may take Auburn's Jabari Smith, number 1. The second pick is held by the Thunder, which they could use to take Gonzaga's 7-footer Chet Holmgren. ESPN's Jay Billis.
He's truly unique, but I would say he's a little bit like Kristaps Porzingis with his ability to shoot the ball from the perimeter. He's a 40% three-point shooter, but he's also a baby Giannis with his ability to handle it in transition, to get downhill.
Jay Billis on Get Up. TV coverage of the draft at 8 Eastern on ESPN and ABC. Serena Williams will play at Wimbledon, but her tune-up event is now over after her doubles partner, Ons Jabeur, had to drop out with an injury.
A shorthanded summer staff calls for Indeed. Their hiring platform helps attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine Studios.
This is Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau.
It's officially 100 degrees at JIA. First time since May of 2019, according to the chief.
That is hot.
Mike Burish. You know, here's my thought. I always was like this, though. Like, hot's hot. You know, like, does it matter that I know it's like kind of sexy to say like triple digits?
Yes, it matters. Yes.
Like, what's the difference between yesterday and today?
Oh my God, about 12 degrees.
I think it's all mental, man.
Maybe.
That's my point.
But it is beating me up mentally. I'll tell you what. I'm not even outside and I'm sweating.
You know, it's like not they, but I mean, like we psych you, I should say we, like in the news world and everything else. It's like we psych people into feeling hotter.
I get it. Like, if you didn't mention it, maybe people wouldn't notice it. But there is something to be said for a real feel that tops 105, 106, 107.
I mean, I do agree with that. I think that's like a little. I used to say, because I like the heat. I don't mind sweating. I'll have a 3-shirt day. It doesn't matter. Like
a 3-shirt day in the heat like this?
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's fine. Woo. Like, I really don't mind sweating at all. It's good. You know, but I'm from Rhode Island. And so, I mean, it would get hot. And it would get hot for just a short time, like, you know, maybe a 2-week stretch in the summer where it's like the heat wave of seriously mid-90s up. I mean, it would get 97, 98 degrees.
I grew up the same way.
And so I'd be like, hot is hot. You know, like,
and you didn't feel a difference down here?
Well, the difference is the soupy nature of humidity when you wake up.
It's all thick.
Yeah, that is different.
Breathe and walk in it.
That is different.
Glasses get all mistled up or whatever you call it. That's the worst.
But anyway, I just think there's a little, I mean, hot is hot is my point. This is the moral of the story. Like, cold is cold, hot is hot. There is a different element of cold.
Like a bone chilling versus a chilly.
Yeah, like freezing cold, like Jacksonville gets sometimes, like, oh yeah, gosh, that is a little chill, man. That feels a little different, right?
Yeah.
Then there's like Minnesota cold when I was at the Super Bowl, where your nose hairs freeze.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've always put the delineation on if your nose hairs are freezing, it is like beyond cold.
I would say even a little bit before that point. If you're going outside, you're chucking a cup of water up in the air and it's turning to snow dust, maybe it's time to go back inside.
This is probably the most memorable part about the Jags run of 17 is it was by our standards, it was freezing the Buffalo week. And we were doing all these TV shows. We had gloves on in Jacksonville.
That's so funny.
It was so cold at night when the sun went down.
People think you're doing a Buffalo cover song.
And then we went to Pittsburgh. And
which
just
is no treat
froze
on the river
ass
like
off.
that.
I mean, it was so cold. Like, I got up and did live shots that morning, and it was seriously 1 degree when I was doing live shots. The beauty of Pittsburgh is we thought it was going to be so cold all day, and the sun came out.
Oh, nice.
And so it was like 16 degrees, but with sun, and it felt
gorgeous.
So much better than we had mentally prepared for.
Yeah.
Well, then we went to the Super Bowl in Minnesota, and, I mean, everything's indoors in Minnesota, but it was like 20 below with the wind chill all week.
Yeah.
They had a cold stretch, and we had to do one show outside. Marcel, like, he froze more than me. I chickened out and ran inside a little bit, but like during the commercial breaks. But we were outside the Mall of America because we wanted a little scene.
Yeah.
So we did an hour show. So we were technically outside for like over an hour and a half in 20 below. and Marcel's from Folkestone, Georgia. So
he's got that Southern heat inbred into his body.
Anyway, hey, let's get to the phone line. It's going to be hot on the beach. Coming up in about a month on July 23rd for the Good Lad Soccer Classic. I don't know if I said the entire name right because the beach is somewhere thrown in there.
It's a Soccer Beach Classic.
Yeah, so I mixed it all in. Good Lad Soccer Beach Classic. Let's bring in Gavin Carlin right now. He'll tell us more about it. He'll get us straight. We had him on a year ago and they had a tremendous amount of success last summer with this event. So let's talk to him again. What's happening, man?
How's it going, Brent? Great to talk to you again. I can't believe it's been another 12 months there since we spoke last, and I was just listening to your introduction there. I don't think you'll find a single Irishman outside in Jacksonville, Florida today in this heat.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, my kids are redheads. We've got a little Irish in them. So I kind of know how you're feeling. Maiden name of McPeak for my mom, okay? So we got that Irish blood as well. All right. Hey, man, how successful was this last year? And what are you doing there? Are you going to roll out a similar thing because of the success of last year this time around?
Oh, absolutely brilliant last year. And after our interview, the registration numbers absolutely blew up. So I always have to say I have to call Brent back and have to offer you the official spokesman of the Good Lad Soccer Beach Classic.
Yeah, got that swag going.
Listen, why would you ask? When you talk like you talk, why would you ask me to be a spokesperson? It's way better if you talk.
No, you're a lot better looking than me, so I'll put you in front of the camera. So.
I'm on the website right now, goodladsoccer.com. What are you looking for? What tell everybody what kind of soccer folks you want out there. What kind of teams do you want out there? What are you trying to accomplish with the tournament that you put on?
So we're looking to really build off last year, Brent. You know, the tournament was absolutely brilliant. Last year in the youth division, we had a lot of kids that played in the local travel team through Florida Elite and through Jacksonville FC. And then through to the adult division, we have guys that are former pros, current and former college players, semi-pro players. So basically just looking to build off that. It was excellent last year with the event when it sold out. Obviously, the support of people like yourself and when a company like Flagler Health reached out to me as well and said, we want to put our name behind this, we want to be the tournament sponsor for you guys. That really gave me a massive boost of confidence as it really showed this is an event really worthwhile. And when a company like Flagler Health put their company name behind it, I thought, God, I'm on to a winner with this one. But this year it's shaping up to be another brilliant event. Like I said, it's only the second year, and this year already we have a team from Boca Raton coming for the youth division, and a team as far out as from Tallahassee coming for the youth and teen as well, and then also we've got a team coming down from Virginia as well to join the adult division. So that's only in the second year, and when you factor in, we already got people traveling to Jacksonville to join it. I think we're on to a winner for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a good start, and it's kind of a cool concept because as you promote yourself as the only beach soccer tournament in Jacksonville Beach, so it's just a different element. First of all, people love going to the beach. It's kind of like you love playing ball on the beach, whether you're throwing the football around or you're playing paddle ball or the frisbee or soccer. And so it's a cool little element, and it obviously fits the scene in Jax Beach as well. Did you find that people like the kind of unique nature of it rather than being on the turf or the grass?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. I'm always looking for ways to keep the Good Lad Soccer company and brand growing. And when I seen, obviously, I know of beach soccer, and I went down to Pompano Beach back in 2018 to see a tournament going on down there, and I thought, this is amazing that nothing like this is being done in Jacksonville. And I know it's massive up where you're from, up in Rhode Island there, and then up and around, obviously, in the northeast for Virginia and all that good stuff. It's huge up there, and obviously they wouldn't have the weather that we'd have down here. So I thought there's a real opening for it. So, like I said, it's something that I'm going to grow. I'm going to make sure I can crawl before I can walk, before I can run. So I'm going to really, like the rest of Good Lad Soccer, I'm going to build it from the ground up and make sure it's done well and make sure it's very popular on a local level before it branching out further and further. Like I said, like I said to you last year, it's another. I want to add another feather to the cap of sports here in Jacksonville, and I want to grow it to something like, say, the Gate River Run, where something synonymous with Jacksonville. Every year that it's coming up, people look forward to it, people practice for it, people work towards it. So eventually, again, I will hopefully grow it to something of that size.
At what age kids are you looking to come out and play?
Oh, so it's everything from the youngest kids start at 9, 10 years old, from 9, 10, 11, 12 for the youth division, the teen division is 13 to 15-year-olds, and then everything from 16 up is the adult division. So I expect you to be sending up a team, Brent, any day now.
Well, and actually, that's like a really good idea. So how many people do I need on my team? And go ahead, answer that one first.
I know. You need a roster, so it's 5v5. So you need a minimum roster of 5. And then I would always recommend, when people ask me this, I'd recommend a roster of 7, 6, 7, 8 players. So then, in case of any injuries or anything comes up. So 5 to enter, and then ideally a roster of 7, so you have 2 subs.
Yeah, because I'm surrounded with a bunch of slow, chubby guys, so I got to be a little careful.
He's talking about you, Casey, not me.
But, seriously, we don't play soccer, right? We're old, and out of shaper.
Take some swings in here.
But can we still play, have fun, even though we might not be the best? Is it that kind of thing, or would be I'll tell you this, Gavin. I entered one time. My wife played volleyball in college. And so then we built, one summer, I built a beach volleyball court at my parents' house.
Oh, wow.
And so I started playing a lot of volleyball as well. And I was like, hey, we're not bad. We're okay. We were Olympic people.
You started to drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. So in Newport, Rhode Island one year, we were like, hey, there's a tournament. Let's go play a 2 versus 2 tournament. It's going to be awesome.
How big is the volleyball scene in Rhode Island?
Well, in the summer, it was like a pretty good size event, right? So we go to it, and again, Steph's a college volleyball player. She's more of a defensive specialist. So she's not
a ringer, though. She's a pro.
And I'm at this stage, I'm 24, man. I'm in pretty good shape.
Okay.
It's less than that. I was 22. So I'm in really good shape. And I was we go to it, and the people that we played the first match, they're 40-something years old. They're this is going to be a piece of cake.
Oh, no.
They killed us.
Dominated.
They killed us.
Wow.
And so, Gavin, I don't I just want to know going in if I'm going to get killed. That's my point. All right, we're not very good.
No promises, Brent. That's why we're fully insured, man. Just in case.
So, do you separate in divisions? Hey, this is the open division. Brent, don't go here with your team.
Hey, Brent, here's the senior circuit tour. Why don't you hit that one?
No, eventually we will. I will grow a tournament where there's going to be a semi-pro division. There's going to be built into different brackets. But like I said, only the second year, so it's still keeping it very community-based, community-driven, catering to a wide range of people. As we're growing it in, that's really the plan. I've got a 6, 7, 8 year plan with this thing, so it's going to grow. And then after a while, then I'll have definitely the open division, like I said, the pro division, youth, elite youth division, little things like that, So it's, but no, like I said, still second year, still very community based. So no, definitely you can get an ESPN team enter for sure.
All right. By the way, I'm asking all these questions, you can just go on the website, goodladsoccer.com, and it's $250 per team. So if you have 7 or 8 people, that's okay. Have a nice day at the beach, right?
That'll be fun.
And that'll be cool. So anyway, Oceanfront Park in Jax Beach, July 23rd. Check it out, goodladsoccer.com. Maybe we will have to throw a team together. We'll see if everybody's in town right before training camp.
By the way, that's a cash prize to the adult team.
Oh, it is indeed. Yeah. So we got, obviously, medals handed out for the youth division and for the teen division. And like I said, cash prize for the adult division, so you can take the cash prize straight to Lynch's afterwards and, keep it in there.
Nice.
Gavin, you're doing one thing right. We don't need those damn medals. We just want the money.
That bar tab.
All right, man. Hey, good luck with it. It's about a month away, so get on it, folks, before it sells out, and have a lot of fun. I'm glad it's a success so far, and I hope you guys have a good time with it. Maybe we will think about putting a team together. I'm not ruling that out. I got to check the calendar, but I'm not going to rule it out, Gavin.
Cheers, Brent. No, I appreciate you again having me on, and thanks very much for doing what you do for local sport, and like I said, help me grow this event. And like I said, I'm looking forward to having an ESPN team out there, and hopefully I'll be talking to you again in another 12 months' time, and we'll just keep growing it bigger and bigger.
Thanks, man. Good luck with it. Doing a good job. Appreciate your time.
Cheers, Brent. Take care.
Let me tell you something. You roll me out on that soccer field, beach or no beach, we better have a sponsor for new asthma inhalers for me, because if I'm going to have an asthma attack on choking on food, imagine what it's going to be with me running down beachside trying to accept a pass from the Red Menace over here at midfield.
See, I like this. I like this idea that we get a team together. Calendars are tough, especially we're going right into football season. My summer calendar is all over the place. I'm about to go away for a couple weeks. But I like this idea. I don't know if it can be an ESPN 690 team. I really don't want you two on it, but like I
got fancy feet.
I got to get like some ESPN 690 shorts.
You need ringers. Is what you need. You need more ringers like Steph. Maybe throw a Marcel on there. He's in shape.
Yeah, that might be fun though. Even you guys can play. I mean, I don't care.
Brent. Thank you.
But would you think like I'm going to do a little producing on the air again? I like doing this, and I've thought about this a lot. But like we got so much going on, and I hope the other people who are in town don't steal this idea. But I like the idea. Like I think we should have like an ESPN 690 like volleyball league.
So how many people on a team?
I don't know, like adult volleyball.
6?
Well, like indoor. I'm talking
4?
like beach volleyball type.
2?
Well, I think you can do 2 or 4 for that one. I got to check. I know it's 2, at least 2, but I don't think it's 6. I don't think you do 6 in beach volleyball.
Well, you didn't say beach at first.
I know you're right about 6 indoors.
Yeah,
I think
so it's 2.
I think the beach would be fun, like outside.
But we suck, so we should make it 3 because it's going to be a lot of
balls
serve,
into the sand.
return in the sand.
But I like the idea of that. So I want to maybe we just do a league. That'd be kind of fun.
I think that could be fun.
I want to be on Steph's team.
And by the way, maybe it's not volleyball. Maybe we should just start doing leagues. Like,
That's
how about
what
we
I was
just run the
saying to him.
ESPN 690 cornhole league?
I want to run a 3-on-3 league.
Oh, you don't want the cornhole problem, Brent. You don't.
Oh, boy.
What's the matter with that?
I think Casey's trying to say he's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, it'll be quick. Like, you want to be on my team.
Oh, gosh. Everybody talks.
I'll put 100 on it right now. That's how confident
This
I am.
sounds like we got to take it to the parking lot.
Well,
we also need
by the way,
boards
I'll bring mine in tomorrow. Or are you coming down to iCryo tomorrow?
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll bring out I
got
have cornhole boards.
We got cornhole
with my
boards
face
here.
on it.
Ooh.
That's even more exciting.
Look at Casey licking them chops.
Problem is Austin's face is on it too. Can I like scratch him out?
Get like a Sharpie marker. Just Photoshop somebody else's face there.
Anyway, I like the idea of this. Maybe we should look into it. That'd be kind of fun. Day at the beach.
I want to run 3-on-3 teams. I want to do basketball 3-on-3, like mini league inside this building.
I think we could do it. I really do. Like I was thinking the volleyball one because it's just got to fit the right time. And again, we're talking about a variety of schedules, and mine might be the worst. But like you do a Wednesday, we just go do a show 3 to 6 at wherever, and because they have places where they have beach volleyball courts and. Drink some beer after, get a food truck
in the park. Yeah, a lot of these neighborhoods have parks with the beach volleyball court.
That'd be kind of fun, right?
Very fun.
Think we get people sign up?
I like volleyball.
If we're just sitting there and it's the 3 of us, that could be a problem.
Oh, just drinking some beer.
It'd just be a show.
We don't even
be the show.
That's true. It's just a show.
Don't even have to play volleyball.
Nobody wants to play us.
We could at least find another team.
Undefeated.
That's fun. So good luck to the soccer tournament, and maybe we will put a team together. GoodLadsSoccer.com. You know who wants to be in this? I know it is like Weber. Weber's all over.
Weber's your best chance.
And
bro.
by the way, like Marcel thinks he's like the best athlete on the planet, so I can talk him into playing. I think we could probably do this.
Yeah, I just need to put money against Casey, and I'll do whatever. I'll just bet you something, and then I'm in.
So
I could probably get the kids to play. Like,
yeah.
I wonder if they could play in the adult division.
Why couldn't they?
Yeah, they could actually. The teen division
Over
is 13 to 16. They're now older than that.
Yep.
Now, I want you to consider that this is soccer, right? And these are people playing for a cash prize. So when Ty goes down,
Yeah, I got to be a little careful.
you
of
know, like be ready for that.
that. Well,
I'm talking to you. Ty will be fine.
Yeah.
I trust that. I'm talking to you as his father.
Mentally preparing
When a
him.
grown man puts him on the ground and it doesn't get called, you need to be ready for that.
I will be. With a baseball bat.
Would you struggle?
There we go. And now we're not invited back to Jack's Beach ever again.
Yeah,
Good
man.
lad soccer getting a lot of attention.
Not so good.
Not the attention they want. Not on this station. It's on another station down the hall. Because we got a crazy guy in jail.
Anyway, go check it out. GoodLadsSoccer.com. I'm seriously thinking about it now. Because I think I'm around. That's a Saturday. That's before camp. That might be fun.
I think it would be.
I can't play.
Why not?
I'm going to the Chelsea game that day, ironically.
Ah, good. Well, you can give us some soccer tips since you're like our soccer aficionado. You could be like assistant coach along with Weber.
Case has got big soccer news he wants to break.
You need Weber to play. You want Weber to coach? You need the man to play. By the way, I would use his connections over at the Jacksonville Armada and get you some of them boys. Because they are good.
Real ringers.
Are we
That's
allowed
what you're
to do
talking
that?
about.
No, that'd be
I don't
good.
see it anywhere in the rules that we can.
Yeah. They really ringer this thing up. All right, we'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. What's going on in the football world? Gosh, it's taking a long time to get the football. Let's do it anyway when we come back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly to partly sunny, a hot day today with just an isolated afternoon storm. Most spots stay dry as temperatures reach the mid to upper 90s. Feel like temperatures approaching 110. Down in the low to mid 70s tonight, partly sunny, hot and humid tomorrow. Better chance for some heavy afternoon storms, highs near 95. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds.
Untouchable pricing, incredible value, phenomenal shopping experience. Only at Beard's Diamonds.
Walk into 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center, and it doesn't feel like you're going to the doctors. Beautiful artwork of Jacksonville on the south side location, a laid-back atmosphere, and Rep Butler and his staff are really fun to talk to, and they are there to help you out. First-time appointments and adjustments, just $39 and maybe less pending your insurance. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. 3 locations, south side, St. Augustine, and the west side. Look them up at 904chiro.com. 3 locations, 904chiro.com.
If you want to hit the road this summer in a fuel-efficient ride that's just right for the journey ahead, then listen up, because you need to rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. If you've tried to rent lately, then you know rental companies are short on inventory, but not our friends over at Arlington Toyota Rent-A-Car. Arlington has a whole lot of rental stock ready to rent at a great price. Plus, renting a Toyota is the best way to try it before you buy it. Arlington's even stocking 2022 models to rent. Just go to arlington.com, reserve your rental, and discover just how good Toyota Rent-A-Car can be.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. Patriot Software provides American businesses with easy, cloud-based, premium accounting software and full-service payroll for up to 100 employees. Business owners love the simplicity, the price, and our U.S.-based support. And accountants love the powerful capabilities. Check out our nearly perfect 5 out of 5-star ratings.
Keep your time and money.
You're on your way to work, and then, bam, your whole life changes in that second. Forever. You're injured, and now you have to fight for justice or live your life in pain. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You know what's great about getting older? The toys are way cooler. Spring is here, and it's playtime. Yeah! And One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, has slash loan rates across the board on all the toys. Motorcycles, jet skis, boats, RVs, ATVs, even golf carts. And it's fun and potentially dangerous. One-to-One Financial has the perfect loan to help you finance it. Check out our rock-bottom rates and apply now at one-to-onefcu.org. Come out and play. Federally insured by NCUA.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Hope you're having a nice summer so far. It is the most active season of the year. So are you active? Are you able to be active? I love to be active, especially this time of year, playing golf, exercising, catch with the kids, throwing them a little batting practice. But if you have joint pain, you can't live like you want to live. Hip pain, knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain. It sucks the fun out of living. But QC Kinetics is helping you get the fun back with advanced regenerative treatments from local medical professionals. Get a totally free in-office consultation by calling 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522. Regenerative medicine is the hottest thing going, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in these cutting-edge, all-natural options. The patient satisfaction reports are incredible. They have over 100 clinics nationwide, including right here. Stop putting it off. You can get real relief from pain with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Just call 904-274-5522 for a free in-office consultation. 904-274-5522.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Action Sports Jax. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jax. Watch, listen, subscribe.
I would argue, guys, that there's not a quarterback in the NFL this year under more pressure than Derek Carr, to me, and that's clear. When you go out and you spend the money that they spent to get Devontae in, you're looking at a top-5 offense, right? Like, that's what they're banking on this year. And I know that there are questions for the offensive line, but there aren't questions about Hunter Renfrow, who just got paid, Darren Waller, who's waiting to get paid. You look at Josh McDaniels coming in and understanding what he's going to run as an offense. I feel like for Carr, who took a very team-friendly contract, they have a pretty easy out. There's no middle ground. Either the Raiders are a Super Bowl contending team and Derek Carr plays at an MVP level, or they're looking at a different quarterback.
Is that our man Jason Fitz?
Yep.
Love Fitzy. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter.
He's going to be confused the next time he calls back.
Why?
Because Austin doesn't work here.
Yeah, good point.
I can pretend. I do a good Austin impression.
That's true. He might be a little confused. What's going on in the football world? Anything?
Nope.
I mean Arch Manning is the big story, but
yeah.
Next topic.
I mean, to be honest with you, like the story this week are athletes dying from the football world. I mean, it's really a sad story this week.
We just had a Hall of Famer die today, too.
Yeah, and I mean, he was obviously the big name yesterday at just 55 years old, Tony Siragusa, and 2 Ravens. I mean, in a 24-hour span, which is horrific.
Rough day for a franchise, yeah.
So it does make you wonder. Like, my buddy keeps asking me. He's like, so what happened? What did you do? Like, what do you think happened? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, 55 years old can be a lot of things.
Sure.
Right? Died in his sleep. And, like, he's convinced, like, well, he did something or something was up or blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't know if I believe that. I think, keep in mind, now he's playing even – we talk about things that have changed even 20 years ago, what people were putting in their bodies to play for pain, to be able to play for whatever, at all cost mentality was different than it even is today.
Sure.
And I don't know this, by the way. I'm just saying, like, football players in general, this way I described it to him. I said, sometimes 55-year-old football player is like 55 to 60-year-old football players, kept himself in really good shape, has gotten really healthy, has kind of helped offset some of the beating that he took, like, on the football field. And I said, sometimes 55-year-old football player is like 80-year-old person, and it can age the heck out of you with that lifestyle. And already Siragusa is a heavier guy. I don't know. I haven't seen him in like the last couple of weeks or months, so I don't know how big he was at the time.
I mean, even if he's one of these guys who lost weight way after his playing days because it wasn't immediate.
It wasn't immediate.
But even if
he didn't lose
lost
it for TV.
Right. Even if he lost it recently, still these bigger humans always have medical issues.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but I do think their lifestyle and their trade, meaning the NFL and playing football, factors in. And that's why I say this all the time. People don't believe me. I'll say it to anybody who wants to listen. I'll continue to say it for the rest of the time when there's a mic in front of me. I wouldn't play that sport for $1 million for a series. I wouldn't. Like, I think and what I try to do there is tell you just how violent I think the game is. Like, how crazy almost you have to be to play the game. And what happens on that field at that level, no matter what you're getting paid. And I don't know if it's always worth it for how you feel and everything else. And there's so much better technology. There's so much better safety. There's so much better recovery.
The sports science in general, yeah.
All this stuff is so much better for that athlete playing that sport, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it beats the heck out of you.
But
I have such a respect for it. Like I say that from a respect point of view, that these kind of gladiators do that for a living for as long as they do. I don't know how they do it.
I'm not sure too many of them, though, look at it from a long view. You certainly see it now more these days. Guys like Andrew Luck. There have been a few guys in football.
Absolutely.
Who have just left.
San Francisco had a couple of guys.
Yeah.
That remember at the time.
You leave early before your brain turns to mush. But for the most part, you're talking about a league full of guys who weren't raised wealthy.
True.
So they're making the money while they can. And unfortunately, they end up paying an ultimate price at some point down the road.
And by the way, I think the brain part of this, the CTE part of this is real. But I think the technology and the safety has helped that. I think guys feel more comfortable with the protocols that are in place than ever before. I'm just talking about your body, like your knees, your hips, your back, I'm not lying. I wake up in the morning and I hurt the most when I wake up in the morning. I'm 45 and I never played a down of football.
It doesn't come at you when it's time to go to bed either?
No.
Just in the morning.
When I wake up.
It bookends for me, especially in my feet, man. In the morning and at night, I think I'm the most inflamed.
My neck and my shoulders. When I get up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't move.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's probably a sleeping thing. I need to
I'll tell
get
you
a
what, man.
pillow or mattress or whatever. But that's me who I played baseball. I play, I stayed in shape.
You're getting older.
But you're just getting older. So I just cannot imagine how guys that played the sport of football for 10, 15 years feel when they are 45. Maybe they're lucky, and because they're in such good shape, they don't feel as bad as I think they do, but they've got to feel just awful.
Yeah, I don't think anyone gets out of that league going, man, I feel like I did when I was 23.
Yeah, no, I don't think that.
I started going to a stretch place in town. Yeah. I don't have to do the full commercial for them. They're not paying me for it. But
those are good.
I thought it was going to be kind of a scam, to be honest with you. And then I started going, and I'm like, man, I want to do this every 3 days.
Yeah.
They are pulling me apart in ways that I haven't, moved my legs or my hips since high school. And you feel it. It's like pulling apart an old pack of baseball cards. It's just the glue coming out.
You're the gum.
Yeah, exactly. Crumpled and dusty, yes. Out of date, old and gross, yes. But the point is that, that's just me, and I'm a sedentary guy. I'm sitting most of the day. I stopped playing sports maybe 15, 20 years ago, more than a couple of times a month, but these guys, just brutal day in, day. And it's not just football. It doesn't have to be the contact sport. These basketball guys have bad knees and bad legs, bad backs as they get older. The baseball guys with their shoulder and back injuries, hip injuries. It is a brutal living. And that's part of the reason I think why it pays so well.
What was the name of the show that Steve Urkel was on?
Family Matters.
Family Matters. And so I read something early this morning that got me thinking of Urkel. Casey?
Did I do that?
Is that what you read?
I didn't read that.
Okay.
But I thought of that. It's in my brain. Again, I'm not this pop culture guy, but this is what I thought of.
It's pretty iconic.
And is that what he's like? Obviously, outside of his attire, from a verbiage or line in a thing, catchphrase, that's his, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what he's known for.
Yeah.
And so I read this that somebody tweeted.
All right.
Shohei Ohtani is unquestionably the best player in the history of the sport. And I thought of Urkel. Did I do that?
That's high praise.
You know who did that?
Who did it?
Casey Kurtz.
After a 13 strikeout game, you're willing to anoint him the king?
Casey, I said last night, I saw this stat. A career high 8 RBI last night and a career high 13 Ks tonight. Unbelievable, right?
Yes.
And so I said, we don't talk enough about this guy. We are watching the modern day Babe Ruth in terms of what he's capable of doing.
That's very rare.
But then I woke up and I saw Casey, and I'm like, unquestionably the best player in the history of the sport.
Mm-hmm.
High praise. High praise.
No, you don't really mean that.
Why don't I?
Why would he be? How could he be unquestionably the best player in the sport?
Yeah, is he the best pitcher or the best hitter ever? And if he's not either one of those alone, he can't unquestionably be the best ever.
That's a stupid argument because if he's not the best hitter and then best pitcher, think about the sentence you just said. He pitches and hits at such a high level that he's better than most to ever do it at both of the positions. And then you combine them together, and it equals just something that you should never see. And don't give me that Babe Ruth crap, by the way. He played like before there was electricity. So baseball is at such a high level now, like Babe Ruth would not be doing that. He was also overweight, so...
Well, they want to preserve these guys for long careers and high productivity. But, I mean, it's not like Ohtani's been doing it for, a decade.
I think...
he's only been here like 3 years.
Yeah, it's been like 4 years.
He does do it in a different way.
And 2 of the 4 years, he's been nothing but incredible.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, but we can't disregard Babe Ruth just because it was 100 years ago. I mean, he was
or
widely
any of
considered
the other best baseball players ever.
Well, but I will say this. And so, anyway, I thought of the Urkel thing, so thanks for playing it, because I hadn't heard it in a while. But I think about it a little bit more, Casey, and I'm not saying I agree with you, but I think it's like more of a valid argument than people would think. Because
it's right.
Well, not really. But if we just stop at, he's the modern day Babe Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
And we all think, like, Babe Ruth is widely considered, like, the greatest baseball player ever.
If not one of, sure.
And so, well, if that's who we're likening him to, then isn't it maybe a short conversation? And there's a simplicity to the argument. Now, I would still say, even though I never saw Babe Ruth play, I think he's like Secretariat, where I have no idea if you match up the horses and all this stuff who's better, but Secretariat is always going to be the best horse.
Yeah.
Always. I think Babe Ruth had that kind of lead on everybody because he had, like, rewritten the books, and plus he had this jovial personality, plus he had other parts of his personality, plus he was a out-of-shape guy, plus he went Red Sox and Yankees. I mean, there's so much to Babe Ruth that you're just like, yeah, he's unquestionably, he's like Michael Jordan. He's unquestionably the best player of all time.
Yeah.
And Ohtani just hasn't done it long enough for me, Casey, for me to validate your point more. But I'm just saying, like, over the next 3 to 5 years, could we really talk ourselves into him being right in line with Babe Ruth?
Yes. If he repeats last year 3 or 4 more times, you're like, holy smokes, this guy, we're never going to see this again. But he's got to do it again.
Who is, like, it's a funny conversation, right? I mean, Mike Trout has already kind of worked himself into a conversation of, like, we might be watching the modern-day best player of all time.
I agree with that.
Type of thing.
Yes.
Mike Trout doesn't pitch.
I get it, but you're not gonna convince someone to let go of these legendary, iconic baseball players because they didn't go both ways essentially in baseball. It's silly.
And listen, here's the one problem, okay? With this is a little bit like the Derek Jeter conversation. So Derek Jeter never won an MVP, right? We looked it up the other day.
We did. Yeah.
So, like, how in the pantheon of greatness? Again, great is one thing, and then we're talking about like this elite 1% of the 1%, and this is like in the conversation. Well, if you never were the best in the league, that's a pretty damn good argument that you're probably not one of the best shortstops like of all time in the elite category.
I think that's a fair thing to say, yes.
Doesn't Ohtani kind of have a little bit of that problem, Casey? He puts on like this show, and obviously that's part of his name, and he hits bombs, and he strikes out 13, and he throws it 100 miles an hour. He does all these things that are like, holy cow, which also, by the way, remind you of Babe Ruth.
Yep.
Because the story of Babe Ruth is he did these things that nobody else on the planet did in baseball. Well, Ohtani has that part. But he isn't the Cy Young winner. And he's not even considered the best pitcher in the game. And he's not the MVP, like, hitter and not considered the best hitter in the game. So, like, that's where I think there's this conflict. Yeah, he does both, which is unbelievable. And he does both really well. And he does both the best that's ever been done since Babe Ruth. But he's not the best hitter in the game, I don't think people would say. And he's not the best pitcher in the game. So how could you be the best? Like when Babe Ruth was doing it, he was the best hitter in the game, I think. And I think he was the best pitcher in the game at times. You know what I mean?
No. You do realize Ohtani won the MVP last year,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
With
I'm just
46 home runs and 100 RBIs.
And a 3 ERA and 150 strikeouts and 130 innings last year was ridiculous.
Okay, so it's 1 year, which, by the way, that's why I say 3 to 5 years if we see 3 of these or something like that. But I would ask you this, Casey, because I argued this with somebody else that was on the show, and I've said Ohtani was going to win it, and he clear-cut should win it. But if he had just, which, by the way, the numbers were ridiculous even on the hitting side. If he didn't pitch last year, would he have won the MVP? No. Vlad Guerrero would have won, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
But I mean, that's a fair point by you because he was at least in the conversation. I mean, he was right there. And I just think he has to do more of this ridiculousness for a longer period of time for me to crown him that. I'm not saying he's a one-time wonder either. I think he's unbelievable.
Just to confirm, I hear what you're saying, but just to confirm, he's the only human being on the planet that can do this thing, and you need him to do more.
I need him to do it with longevity.
Consistency,
yes.
Consistency.
So you don't need him to do more. You just need him to do it longer.
Yes, I do.
Because what more is there to do?
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Same.
Like, I don't need him to hit 50 home runs. I don't need him to have a lower ERA. But I do need him to do this over a period of time that doesn't look like Milli Vanilli song.
What the hell was that?
One-time wonder.
He sounded like Bart Scott trying to say it feverishly.
Who is it again? Milli Vanilli?
It was Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, there we go.
So the problem that's going to
That's why
lie
I don't dip into music very often here
with Ohtani is he didn't come over until he was like 24.
Yeah, how old is Ohtani now?
27.
Yeah,
he's
but
got
that's
plenty of time.
Yeah,
right?
stop acting like 24 was old.
And that's like, and he's made the adjustment already over those first couple of years.
Clearly.
He's actually been hurt over those first. They've learned how to manage him and what works. So this is now this is what you would say is the prime. It's 27 to like 32 years old.
Sure.
Can he do? Again, I'm not trying to have this argument and take anything away from Ohtani. I think it's unbelievable. And I said that last night on social media. I just was a little jarred by you saying unquestionably he's the best player of all time. Like I can't go there yet.
It's just very what's the word? Leaves no room for doubt. Saying unquestionably, meaning the conversation is over already. I think you're a few years off at this point.
Yeah. But I actually, you made me think more though, which I like that. Because at first I went to Urkel, and now I'm like, you might not be wrong if he does this for like a 3-year window. Like, I don't even know what that window is. But like we in sports, we say you have to win like X amount of championships to be considered the best. Like Tom Brady had to get to 5. LeBron James, even to be put in the conversation with Jordan, has to get to whatever it was, 4, right? And there's no way if he doesn't pass him that he can even be in the conversation. Like we put those parameters on people.
Do we do that for baseball players?
Well, I don't. We need to do it for more than a 1 year sample.
In terms of the comparison that you're making there, like I'm with you on the Brady, but then you can be like, well, Mahomes. You can't point to a person that's been alive the last 70 years to compare to Ohtani.
Yeah.
There's always a comparison for Gretzky and McDavid. Like you can find a comparison. You can't compare this guy to anybody except a dude who apparently was great 100 years ago that hasn't been alive in forever.
It's a good point. And again, it's not. That's why you made me think a little bit more.
I'll be here when you come around. Like I'm not going anywhere. You can call me in a couple
I'm
years.
a fan of it. But here's the thing: like, who's a better baseball player?
There are lots
Mike
of
Trout
better baseball
or
players.
Ohtani. Like, I still think Mike Trout is I'd have him higher ranked than Shohei Ohtani based on what I've seen him do for the last 7 years.
Same.
He's a better position player.
There are better pitchers.
There are.
Yep.
Yeah, like Kershaw's a better pitcher.
Yes.
Right?
But he's not a better player than Ohtani. He cannot hit as well as Ohtani. As a player on the surface, there's nobody better. He's not the best position player, and he's not the best pitcher. But the fact that he does both at such a all-star level, he is the best player in the league.
Did you think, Deion Sanders is the best player of all time?
No.
Did Bo
Jackson?
No, those incredible
Bo
athletes.
just didn't do it long
incredible
enough, right?
athletes, without
Bo
a
might have
doubt.
been. Like if he had done it for 10 years.
I think Bo could have played basketball too if they let him.
Anyway, interesting tweet.
So I didn't say athlete for Ohtani.
Yeah. I mean, and bottom line, here's a long story short, Shohei Ohtani is freaking unbelievable.
A freak.
I mean, to have
An
those
amazing
2 days
player.
back to back.
Yeah.
I mean, it really just put it in a sample size of, holy cow, look what he's doing. And Casey's right on this. He isn't being talked about enough. I mean, we don't talk about Shohei Ohtani enough. I mean, he is doing things, to Casey's point, that nobody on the planet is doing.
Yeah.
Or can do.
Nobody. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax, and the local coverage on ESPN 690 is expanding yet again. After Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, we have been bringing you overtime on Mondays and Thursdays, but that has now changed. You can catch Brian Middleton and myself daily after Action Sports Jax and leading you into Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. So starting at 3 p.m. daily, we will have local coverage all night from Action Sports Jax to OT to Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, all right here on ESPN 690.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are energized by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab a free sample of Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
Welcome to Daytona Soccer Fest, the all-in-one soccer, music, cars, and much more 4th of July weekend spectacular. We're building a soccer stadium at Daytona International Speedway, and matches will be played there for the first time in history. Also, full concerts from Raul Alejandro and Chance the Rapper, Toyota Thrill Rides, and the World Freestyle Federation. Daily passes starting at $99. Get your tickets at DaytonaSoccerFest.com. For a limited time, buy one, get one free.
Koala Insulation. Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. That summer heat's right around the corner, and so are those high energy bills. Don't just sweat it out. Do something about it. Call Koala Insulation today for your free evaluation. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
If you've been involved in a slip and fall accident and are not sure of your legal options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Rock the runway. You own it. Have a ball. You own it. Land the big one. You own it. At Community First Credit Union, you can own it all. When you bank at Community First, you're not just a customer, you're an owner. That means you're in control with better rates, fewer fees, and free digital tools. We put you first so you can relax and just be yourself. Go ahead and own it. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
At Progressive, you can get 24/7 protection, even if you break the space-time continuum.
We did it. We time traveled to yesterday. Wait, Progressive covers us 24/7, but we just created an 8-day week, and it's 24/7 coverage, not 24/8. We gotta go back. Are you joking right now? Shh, I'm calling them. Hi, I have a question about time travel.
Progressive offers more than a great price when you bundle home and auto. We offer round-the-clock protection, which literally means anytime. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers, and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dashboard light problems? We can help.
Our free Fix Finder service can read your check engine light, ABS light, and service indicator light, and give you possible solutions, verified by licensed technicians. You'll even get detailed results sent straight to your email so you have them when you need it most. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. The free Fix Finder service, only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
More details at AutoZone.com.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
What's up? It's Casey. Check out our brand new show, The Dream 18 Show, sponsored by Florida Georgia Windows and Doors, right here on ESPN 690 on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. If you like golf, you're going to like this show. The Dream 18 Show, Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
This one's going to sting much more than others just because I think it was taken on. It was potential. I don't know. It's hard for me. This is going to be hard for me to speak. I'm going to have to speak. I'll speak with you tomorrow. You're going to see what I mean when you see the winning goal. And my heart breaks for the players because we probably still should be playing. I'll be available tomorrow.
That is John Cooper, Lightning head coach, who I've got to know very well now on these sound bites.
Yeah.
And I think that was his old news conference, wasn't it?
That was it.
That's
all he said.
So he was. Okay, so that was another good game last night, but it feels like series over now. Lightning needed to win that game. I almost felt like a Game 7 in OT last night. Had that feel to it. And what he's complaining about is too many men on the ice during that goal. Did you say you have the call?
I do.
Let's listen to it. You probably should block your ears, though.
All of those Lightning players on for a minute and a half. Here's the quick counterattack. It's Kadri back in action, denied by Vasilevsky. Oh, what a play! Here's Kadri, makes a great move on Sergachev. It's going to hit Vasilevsky and then the back of the net.
So what happened, if you didn't see it, was it didn't look like it went in. Everybody lost sight of the puck, but as it turns out, it was in the back of the net.
Yeah, nobody knew. Like, even Sean McDonough has been unbelievable. Like, I think there was a big delay between that.
Because nobody could find it. And it was like lodged in the top, and then at first it looked like it was sitting on the top, which would not have been in. The ref thought didn't think it was in either, but it was indeed in.
Well,
but they cheated, so.
They cheated. This is, by the way, our back-breaking, neck-aching play of the week, presented by 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. And 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center can certainly help you. 3 locations on the south side in St. Augustine, the newest location on the west side. I've got to get back over there, by the way. Speaking of waking up and I need like an adjustment.
Oh, yeah.
Get a massage if you need one as well. If you have an injury due to an accident, look them up at 904chiro.com. If you need a wellness consultation like I do, look them up at 904chiro.com. Take care of yourself with 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. That is your back-breaking, neck-aching play of the week, and it really hurt Casey. Was it too many men on the ice?
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't close.
It's a non-reviewable play in hockey.
Which is stupid,
that
right?
Is dumb.
That's so dumb.
Like, that is dumb.
I don't understand. When you're in overtime of the Stanley Cup final, maybe take a look, hockey. You bunch of idiots.
But, Casey, this is what I don't understand about sports right now. I think I'm not a huge fan of replay, okay, in a lot of respects. And every time I have this conversation, and Dan on Twitter will probably tell me, yeah, but he got it right. They got it right. How do you argue against it? I can't argue against, if you're going to try to get it right, you get it right. Like, I understand that concept. But it's like the robotic umps. Like, I don't mind human error to a degree in sports. Like, so I kind of like that part of sports. You've got 2 teams with human error involved. Like, I know you want to be officiated as well as you can, but there's a feel to a game. There are subtleties, there are nuances that I think the officiating plays in. Now, sometimes it absolutely sucks and you get screwed. Like, that's part of sport, at least the way we used to know it and grow up in it. And then sometimes you get so screwed, you're like, I wish we had replay.
Yeah.
And I understand that. But so if we do have all this replay now, then why are there things like this that you can't take a 10-second look at? Yet we're willing to break down frame by frame whether a second baseman got his shoelace on the bag on a double play ball.
Yep.
Like, which didn't even look close in real time, and now we're challenging and taking 5 minutes to review. Like, so I just don't understand. If we're going to do it, well, then do it
Lean
when
in.
you can see an obvious call that takes
Or
5 seconds to look at.
Build in spots where you can use your judgment and go, we need to review this thing. I mean, either go all in or don't, but don't half step it.
But Casey, isn't it the craziest thing? Sorry to interrupt you, but isn't the craziest thing is every goal's reviewed anyway?
Yeah, just not that scenario.
Not that scenario.
Yeah, they
That's
check to
stupid.
make sure it's a good goal, but they don't check that part of it. Yeah, it's.
I got a couple of stats for Casey before we run to break. Just so you know, Casey, you've got hope here for your Lightning. Teams with a 3-1 lead, like the Avalanche have. Best of 7 games, all-time series record, 298-31. That's hard to overcome, buddy.
By the way, 31 might be better than other sports.
35-1 mark in the finals. When they're up 3-1. That's not good.
So, like, why even open your mouth? You know?
I'm just trying to inform you, buddy.
Like, they already cheated, and now you're going to bring up some stat that doesn't matter. We know it's over.
2-1 this postseason. I'm just trying to inform you.
Okay.
All right.
Good job. We'll be back. Football at 5. Here on a Thursday.
Toronto
Action Sports
hates the
Jax on
Lightning.
ESPN 690. Yeah, Toronto. That's where the league office is, right?
Yeah, they hate them. It's true. Everyone hates the Lightning. I'll
We'll
move
be
on.
back on
I'll
ESPN
move on.
690.
Goodbye.
You don't get to be the league's all-time leading rusher without feeling some pain.
Pro football legend Emmitt Smith knows joint pain, and he also knows the old treatments aren't the only treatments. Today, there's a natural alternative to drugs and surgery. It's biologic therapies from QC Kinetics.
I'm talking regenerative solutions that encourage your body to heal and repair itself.
Do you have pain in your hips, knees, shoulder, lower back? Want to get your life back? The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics can help.
Call to learn more about this exciting natural way to deal with chronic joint pain.
Don't put it off. Call QC Kinetics. Restorative regenerative solutions with no downtime and lasting results.
Don't let your joint pain keep you from doing the things you love. There's a new natural solution that patients are raving about.
QC Kinetics.
Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. QC Kinetics 274-5522.
The legendary Acura Integra is back at your First Coast Acura dealers. Click or call to pre-order yours today. Supply is limited, so don't wait. Pre-order the next generation 2023 Integra at firstcoastacuradealers.com.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tim Tebow here, and I'm so excited to see you at my event, Faith, Food, and Football at Daly's Place on July 17th. I believe it's going to be an awesome day full of encouragement and fun for you and the family. There's going to be a worship service, a youth football clinic led by IMG Academy, motivational speakers, and all kinds of food provided by local restaurants. Tickets are on sale now at www.faithfoodandfootball.com. Can't wait to see you all there. God bless.
People often ask me, how much money do I have to pay you up front to be my personal lawyer? The answer is nothing. It's free unless we win. What about a slip and fall or car crash case? Free unless we win.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Summer is in full swing, and the deals are heating up at Lowe's. Shop our 4th of July savings where you'll find everything you need for your summer gatherings. Get party ready with select patio and seasonal decor, now up to 40% off. And spark those summer cookouts with our special buy Master Forge grill for just $128, valued at $169. Find more savings this 4th of July at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Valid 6/23 through 7/6 while supplies last.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dashboard light problems? We can help. Our free Fix Finder service can read your check engine light, ABS light, and service indicator light, and give you possible solutions, verified by licensed technicians. You'll even get detailed results sent straight to your email so you have them when you need it most. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. The free Fix Finder service, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
More details at AutoZone.com.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur with words from another happy payroll customer.
Patriot Software has saved our business by allowing me to focus on other aspects of the business rather than spending so much time on multiple platforms to do the things entailed on running a business. I found Patriot by complete accident, and I don't regret it. It is continuing to save our company, and I'm extremely excited to see what else it entails.
Easy to learn, easy to use. Small business software tailored just for you.
Visit us at patriotsoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
With patriotsoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
I'm Doug Brown, the #1 college football recruit in the class of 2023. Quarterback Arch Manning will be a Texas Longhorn next year. Manning announced his choice today with the first tweet of a new account. He's the highest quarterback recruit in Austin since Garrett Gilbert back in 2009. For months, the debate raged on who should be the #1 pick in the NBA draft. The question will be answered tonight. The Magic hold that first overall pick. ESPN's Bobby Marks.
I think there's probably still a discussion, but I think there's a strong comfort level that it's going to be, Jabari Smith. I said last night they saw him up close and personal in Gainesville in February.
Bobby Marks on Greeny. Our ESPN radio draft coverage starts at 7 Eastern. All 32 NFL first-rounders have now signed their rookie deals. The last one to sign, Pitt quarterback Kenny Pickett, the 20th overall pick, who agreed to terms with the Steelers. It's the first time all 32 first-rounders got their rookie contracts fully guaranteed.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. And great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. And for a limited time only, capture your Barbasol Jurassic World collector cans before they're gone.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau.
When has he elevated the play of anybody else? When has he made somebody else better? He hasn't made anybody else better along the way. And it's not even that he hasn't had to. It's there have been opportunities to do it. He just hasn't.
Who's he talking about there? I put my headphones on late.
I don't know. You have any guesses by what he was saying?
I think that was our program director talking about Casey.
I didn't hear the first part of it, so I don't even know where he's going with it.
Says he needs something to who has he made better was the question.
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott. Interesting.
I'm trying to literally make football topics when they're nothing, and all you could do was put on your headphones. Couldn't get you to do it, huh?
Couldn't do it. We're talking shop, man. We talk a lot of shop inside the commercial breaks.
I'm just trying to make topics on the fly.
Do you think if we just opened up like the mics on the commercial breaks, it'd be entertaining conversation?
It would be entertaining to me. I'm not sure about other people, but we could try.
We could try that. We're starving for football topics. Is that it?
How about the fact that Tyreek Hill got death threats for what he said about Pat Mahomes? What is the thing now? It's so in vogue to threaten somebody's life now. Everybody gets a death threat.
Well, it's just so easy.
It's so anonymous, too, right?
Yeah.
Like on any social platform with your silly egg-shaped profile.
Yeah, what does that mean?
A death threat?
You know what I mean? Like, I know what it means, right?
No, I get what you're saying. Like in today's age, like, what does it really mean if it's just like, oh, I'm going to kill you? Maybe not, but like, what happens if they start threatening members of your family by name?
Yeah,
that's a bit scary,
Yeah, listen, and by the way, I think all should be taken serious in today's day and age.
Sure.
And probably any day and age, quite frankly. But I don't know what it means. Like when Tyreek Hill says that, I don't know if that means there were 3 different ones. There were 5. There was this one person. He
said plural.
And so
death threats. He said on every social media account he owns, he got death threats.
Where do you think the most, I would say, for lack of a better term, rabid fans live?
Twitter. Easy.
No, not in
social
sport.
media, I was going to say. What city?
No, like just in sport. Like if you break it up by sport.
I'd have to go football. It's got to be football. I mean, baseball's got traditionalists, right? But I find it hard to believe that they're going out, breaking windows over the DH in the NL. At basketball, like, people have takes, but you're not really getting a ravenous fan out of basketball. But football, man, see some of those fights on TMZ or World Star Hip Hop after some of these football games, some cell phone video. It gets brutal out there.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because I started to think of like the Dodgers and the Giants. Remember they had that death in the parking
big
lot?
scuffle, yeah.
I've been to, again, I think I've commented on this before. I've been to the Yankees-Red Sox, like, in the playoffs.
You get brutal.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Like, there might not be arguing about AL, NL, DH, but they're arguing about other stuff.
Yeah, Mets, Phillies, too. I mean, it gets nasty. I think that's more of a city versus city thing, though, for me.
And so I think I feel like football would be the most violent, I shouldn't most violent, but most, like, rabid to do things like this, like what we're talking about with Tyreek Hill. But I almost think it's like college football.
Just to confirm, we're doing this in a USA view, right? Because it's without a doubt soccer, internationally.
Sure, internationally.
But we're going to pretend that doesn't exist, though.
Yes.
Cool. All right, very good.
Who cares about other than the beach tournament that we're going to enter.
And win.
On July 23rd. We do care about that. Well, Casey, like, I understand what you're saying. I think you're probably correct. Probably there's no doubt you're correct because it's so global and probably impacts more people. Again, we talk about football football
it matters.
Impacts out of all the sports. It actually probably impacts the least amount of people.
Sure, it's least global, yeah.
Right? So, and I'm not even sure that's a true statement, but you get my idea.
Out of the major sports, I mean, maybe hockey is less global. I mean, they got Canada and Europe. No, I would call football the least global, no?
Hockey's definitely not, right? Because they have Russia and
they got all
Finland.
Europe.
Oh, yeah.
And baseball is in Asia and all over North America and South America. Like, I definitely think it's football.
Yeah,
out of the major sports.
It probably is. But, like, are there, when you say, like, when I think rabid, I am thinking a little violence here. I can't not say that. I'm trying not to say that as much. It doesn't mean you have to be violent to be like this crazy rabid fan, but to the point of death threats, to the point of holy cow.
Look up what happened.
I'm not talking about just like being drunk either.
Well, like breaking a TV on a fumble or an interception or something is pretty rabid.
Yeah, and like just violence breaks out at games. Does that happen quite a bit at soccer?
Yeah. Look what happened when England lost to Euros. See what happened to Sancho and Saka.
Yeah, I know. We've seen some real big messes on the soccer pitch. I mean, really bad ones. So I guess you would definitely be right. And the crazy thing about football in our world, I think it is the fact that it's less global. I know it's trying to get more global. And I always think about like America's pastime in baseball, and you go way back, like there's always this cliche of if you're in the 40s and 50s, from baseball to horse racing to boxing as being the big sports.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just like, it's not America's pastime, but it's now America's present is football.
Yeah.
And it's only America's. And I do think there's a part of that. Like, we talk about this quite a bit. Like, part of the reason we don't embrace soccer to the point everybody else does is because it's not ours. We're selfish as a society. We own football. We dominate football. Like, football is ours. Everybody else is going to copy it, and that's okay. Grow it globally, but remember it was ours. We don't get to do that with soccer. And so I don't think we attach ourselves to soccer. It's grown, certainly has. It will grow. It will continue to grow. Maybe there's a next generation that gets past that part of it. But I think it's part of the reason why it hasn't grown to the degree others have is because we don't own it, and it's not big enough right here on this soil. And sure, we appreciate some of the stories or respect some of the stories, but if it ain't ours,
not interested.
We're not as interested.
I think it's a good point. Do you think football is growing as slowly in Europe as soccer has grown here?
Ooh, that's a good call.
Because there's been like renewed vigor over the last 5 to 10 years to really grow European football after they shut down NFL Europe.
Yeah. Listen, we're just talking about some of this stuff in the last couple of days because obviously the reach of the London. But there are other people that want to be able to promote the game and their teams in the NFL in other parts of the world.
Oh, like Mexico City and Germany. Yeah.
Right. I don't know if it's exclusive would be the word, but they have rights now in other parts like Germany and other parts of the world, even if they're not playing a game, to have to be able to promote. Like, that is a thing now in the NFL. And, you know, Shad Khan said this years ago, and I agree with him. I see where he's come from, that it's a saturated sport in America.
Football.
Yeah. Like, it's great to be big, but you can't get it much bigger.
Yeah.
Like, what's the Super Bowl going to do? Like, what's the next level of ratings? Like, even people that thought it was dying because of the anthem, it's come all the way back and then some. But where is then some? Right? We get 25 ratings for bad Jags teams, or we get 18 ratings on a Thursday night on the TV side, or a 14 rating for Green Bay and Seattle on a Thursday night or a Sunday night game. Like, that is a big number in TV. Like, that is huge. That we all know this, and I know I'm speaking to people that are pretty savvy on this. You know that if you look up the top 10 TV programs in the fall, every 8 or 9 of them, if not 10 of them, are all NFL games.
Yeah.
And so when you have that, where do you go? Like, you can arguably you can get bigger. You can say, okay, like in Jacksonville, we can get bigger because the Jags haven't been good. If the Jags are good, we get like 32 ratings and 35 ratings. And then there's playoff runs of 40 and 45. So there's growth. But as a country, the NFL is already the top 10 shows every week in the fall. Like, where else are you going? Like, I think there's a peak. We talk about this with the Super Bowl sometimes. It's like, hey, only this billion people watched it this year. Well, there's a certain threshold where you are paying X amount of dollars for advertising, and whether they lost 100 million viewers or gained 100 million, that threshold probably didn't change.
Yeah, you're still hitting it.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. To that point, and Shad Khan brought this up, but this was years ago, and I remember him saying, it's always stayed with me, that it's a saturated sport in the United States. And it doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean it's going away. That's not necessarily a negative thing. But when you look at room for growth, and every business wants to grow, even if they're rolling in it, well, you have to go elsewhere.
So I think you make an interesting point in the ratings, because you're right. You're not going to eclipse 110, 115, 120 million people watching a television program as we keep going forward into the future and getting away from traditional television broadcasts. But I do think they're starting to pivot the conversation from ratings to money. And it's not just about how much the league makes, but how much these teams are worth. We just saw the Broncos sale go down for, like $4.5 billion. A couple of years ago, that team wasn't worth $1 billion, according to Forbes. So now you've got these individual teams, whether they're in large markets like Denver or smaller markets like ours, medium market, if you look at the media market size, that are worth billions. And you're like, this is still growing. This is still growth. And I think that's going to continue, especially with the new deals the NFL is trying to shape between Amazon Prime and Apple for their Sunday ticket deal that they're trying to get, team by team, a la carte stuff. You're going to see that explode even more. And I think that is their path to growth with this league, because I don't think it's a global thing. I think they're trying.
Yeah,
I think they're pouring a ton of money into marketing. I think they're spending a lot of time trying to grow that brand outside of the country. But I think you're right. I think in the same way that we don't feel the same ownership over soccer that we feel over baseball, basketball, football, and others, I think Europeans feel this, similar in that respect of football.
That's
American
a really good
football.
call. And by the way, I think that's an interesting note. You're right. There's growth within growth. I don't know how it would be measured. I don't know what the league says. Like, I don't know what metric they look at the most. But you're calling the Denver Broncos is a really interesting. As a $4.5 billion franchise. I mean, we all say that Shad Khan, who bought the team for like a check for $770 million, like in cash.
Yeah.
We know the record. He's won like 40-something games in his tenure, and they're worth like $2.4 billion or something
and
like that.
Up.
And it's going. And by the way, now more because Denver just sold for $4.5.
And you've got these ancillary things too. You've got like the Shipyards project, or not even that. You got the athletic complex and all the stuff that they're tying into the stadium and the Jaguars to add value to the franchise. A lot of these teams are doing similar stuff.
So I don't know if it matters. I've had this conversation before about like a sport like NASCAR. NASCAR reached its peak. I think what have been like the early 2000s.
I would say that.
And it was growing, it's reached its peak. Well, it changed. I mean, some of the dynamics changed. The sport is more expensive to run. It's not as popular.
Some of the biggest names left.
Some of the huge names left. Reach out and touch the star player.
Yep. Doesn't exist.
A star driver. It exists, but not to the degree it did. That opened the door for so many fans to come in. And so I also say, just because you're not as big as you used to be doesn't mean that you're dead.
I agree.
Right? And I think there's, in our society today where everything's either this or that, people think, oh, NASCAR's ratings are down. They're screwed. Like, that's not the case. Like, I think they're doing fine. It's like Major League Baseball. I live in a baseball world where I see a lot of kids playing baseball. They told me nobody was playing baseball anymore. Well, every
Baseball's
field I go
definitely.
to, of course, down in this area, but even a lot of areas, and we see it across the country, whether it's travel ball or high school ball or other thing, there's a lot of kids playing ball.
It's definitely making a comeback.
And so is it? That's a good question.
I think so, because
is
there's a
it making
ton of
comeback?
personalities now in baseball. And you know what? Baseball players have forever been the goofy athlete relative to like football or basketball, always playing pranks on each other and having a fun time on the field. But when you talk about the game and the damage it did to itself between the strike and the steroid scandal and all this other nonsense, the fact that you have so many vibrant personalities in the game doing amazing things, so many amazing players doing amazing things, like Casey's favorite player of all time, I think it's just more and more reason why people are flocking back to the sport.
If I ask you guys this question, which I just asked on social media, football is not the answer here, okay? I'm going to tell you that for a fact. It's not.
Okay.
Which sport has the biggest growth possibilities? And I know a lot of people are going to say soccer. I'm not sure I would agree with you because we've tested this model out in soccer now for 15 years, and it hasn't clicked yet.
Yeah, it really hasn't done anything.
It's done a lot at the youth levels. There's a lot of growth to it, but it's not like, boom, look at it go. And I'm not sure Apple TV and MLS is going to help that out. To Casey's point, I think earlier this week or last week on the show, is it the baseball comeback? Is it the NBA with the amount of stars there are and the drama, and we love soap opera-esque scenes, and that plays out a lot between rivalries and guys on Twitter and all this stuff? Is there a chance hockey is able to find its way back or grow, especially since it's hot now in places like Florida, where hockey never even existed? You know? Where is it? Like, and I mean, golf. I will argue this, and I have, especially when Tiger was hot. I think you could argue golf had snuck into like the fourth of the major sports.
It's definitely a sport for young kids in a way that it wasn't when I was growing up.
Yeah, they've made it. They've really tried to appeal to junior golf. Mm-hmm. They've tried to appeal to a diverse golfer.
Yeah.
Tiger has obviously helped that in a variety of ways. They are more global than anybody even knows they are and continues to be, but golf in general doesn't mean just the PGA Tour.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like in the break, you're talking to Marcel about this 13-year-old kid today who played a tremendous round, and I'm like,
with the local women's amateur.
Yeah, when I was 13, if I'm telling my friends I'm off to play golf, I'm getting looked at like an alien.
Yeah,
you know. So I think it's just different time with that sport. I think you got a lot of potential.
Casey, I like you on this topic, and by the way, we've talked about boxing way back in the 40s and 50s. MMA has gotten to a place that is on the fringe of mainstream, it almost feels. And ESPN, by the way, if you do a deal with ESPN, your sport is going to elevate because they are going to lift you up and elevate you, and so that helps. But I ask Dana White this, and he kind of barks back when I ask this, like, can you plateau? Like, have you topped out, or are you closer to that? Or are you still growing? Boom, 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 boom. Worldwide, they would probably claim yes. I guess I don't know the ins and outs as much. I don't feel it as much to know. But, Casey, you know all these ancillary sports that, like, might be doing better than we even think. I mean, you watch soccer. You know the MMA. You really like golf. You like hockey and the Lightning. If I ask you that, like, where's your answer of what's the biggest growth sport outside of football? Because, again, I can't argue it's growing. I think it's, like, near the topping point.
Yeah, so real quick, I just want to say, Delphonic, if you're still listening, this is your best work of all time.
Yeah, that was terrific.
Ohtani striking out Aaron as well as Babe Ruth from the bench warmers. So well done, Delphonic. You're the man. Growth.
I love Delphonic.
He's the best. So I think the point you make with the NFL here is kind of the soccer everywhere else. Like, you can't really get bigger for soccer in the rest of the world because everybody else already loves it but us here. So, like, the growth here is obviously important, but in terms of nationally, soccer is not going to grow anymore because it's already the biggest thing. I think you've seen it with the MMA and the UFC to the point you were trying to make there. Like, they're now going to Abu Dhabi, and they're going to London, and they're going to all of these places. And they continue to sell out arenas, and they continue to find fighters from all over the world. And I think that's the sport that will continue to grow and has the biggest growth potential. I think on the golf part of it, like Live Golf is going to try to do that in all these spots where there's not golf in terms of the PGA Tour or the DP World Tour. So they're going to attempt to do that if they get to that point. But I think for me, in terms of growth internationally, it's the MMA, because everywhere they've gone, it's been a home run success. And now every card you're having fighters from Brazil, Japan, wherever, and they're becoming like huge stars. So for me, it's the UFC, the MMA, no question.
Yeah, that's interesting. And by the way, Sawyer on YouTube, or he's on Twitch, actually. We love that guy because he's on Twitch. And hopefully he drinks some water because he says he's working outside today. Oof. So get that in. But he says MMA too. And I get what you're saying. I think that's fair vibe. I also wonder if it's a really interesting dynamic, because I think golf and MMA kind of have a similar thing going for them from a globalization standpoint, but they also will never mix audiences.
No.
It doesn't feel like,
there's
right?
almost no cross. You know what? I shouldn't say that, because chances are there's crossover in that room.
There's probably some cross-pollination.
Some MMA, yeah.
I watch them both,
but not by the masses.
Majority,
right?
yeah.
Definitely not the masses.
And so it's interesting. I'm going to be honest with you here. If you asked me this question 10 years ago, here's how I would have answered it, and I would have been dead wrong, I think. And I wouldn't have done this in 10 years, what sport it is. I would have said in 40 years or 50 years.
Right.
Here's the king sport that nobody's talking about. You know what I'm going to say? Got a guess?
Cornhole.
By the way, I didn't anticipate that, and that might be true. Curling.
Curling? Let me tell you something real quick about curling. I know you have a point to make. Curling is electric. My dad used to talk down on curling for years. They throw it on in the Olympics. I didn't care about any of those other winter sports. I was locked into curling, and it was Switzerland against some other country.
You weren't alone. You weren't alone.
It's electric.
It's fun. It's fun to watch.
We need a curling league. Talk about all those other dumb sports. We need a curling league ASAP. Build the igloo. Get a curling league.
There's
Brett,
a place.
continue on.
There's a place here in town that does curling.
Get them on the places. Phone. Most cities now have curling clubs. They really do. Yeah. Jacksonville is they brought some events here and all those things. So, okay. So here's the one. I thought it would be lacrosse.
That's interesting.
And so the reason why I thought it would be lacrosse is, I'll give you three. There's probably more. One is the concussion talk of the NFL and of football in general, which I think did impact for a while and probably still continues to impact more than we know. Youth sports and moms and dads letting their kids play and
I will
get
let
into
my
it.
kid play football.
Or at least when they get into it. And so if I've met a lot of people, including a lot of former NFL players, that say, yeah, I'm not going to probably let my kid get into it until they're in high school, right? At tackle, at that level. Now, you can do a lot of other things, flag football, and you can kind of, we
don't even want to go there, because I don't want to entice him to follow the path.
Yeah, and so anyway, there are a lot of people like that. Well, that gives you room to say, okay, I'm going to get into lacrosse. And lacrosse is a violent game. And I'm not saying you don't have concussions, by the way, but it's a fast game. It's a violent game at times. It can be physical. Let's just say that instead of violent. And it's quick for the American eye and for our society. It's fast paced. And it's got some great history as well. So, all these things breed, hey, this could be a nice fit. And I think you can play a lacrosse match in an hour and a half to 2 hours, which also fits our attention span.
Yeah.
Which is the one reason I thought soccer would take off more, because it's over in an hour and 45 minutes. That's a big deal for us.
Yeah.
Right? We want to know when the movie ends.
Sure.
Problem with baseball, right? Problem with college football. It lasts too damn long sometimes. Yeah, and so I really thought lacrosse would see this kind of cross-pollination of football players over to that sport that wanted a lot of the attributes, but maybe in a safer way. And that was we would have to wait a generation for this to materialize, because a lot of youth weren't playing football as much, and more of that was happening. And so okay, well, go play here instead. I have seen not a lot of signs of that. Now, listen, we have a lot of growth of lacrosse in high school and other areas, but I just have not felt that to the point where wow, we're really seeing this transition. Like I said, this has a history. Jim Brown played lacrosse, man. He was unbelievable. You can go back in the day a little bit. I think the one problem we have in lacrosse, and why it maybe hasn't caught on to the point where I thought it would, is I don't think anybody has a clue what the hell's going on half the time.
I mean, I don't. And I'm a sports fan.
Yeah, me too. Like, I've covered it before, and half the time I'm not sure I know exactly why that happened, right? And so I think there's like this complexity to it. It's probably not as complex as we think, but there's a complexity to it that hasn't like just grabbed us. And we probably haven't seen this like unbelievable athlete player like on SportsCenter doing this.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Michael Jordan of lacrosse captivate the country.
I always say like people don't even know the Michael Jordan of lacrosse coaches at Jacksonville University.
I didn't.
He is the coach at Jacksonville University, like the greatest player arguably in lacrosse in this modern day is the coach at JU.
That's great. Now we got to tell people.
Yeah, so, but I think some of this is high school based too. Like it's just still I'm going to go out to Denver next week. It's big out there. You go up to the Mid-Atlantic, it's huge in the Mid-Atlantic. It's getting down to Florida. But these crazy, asinine youth sports like mentalities that live in California, Texas, and Florida haven't really been exposed to it the way other sports like soccer moms and dads and baseball and softball and AAU and all this other stuff. And so I just don't think it's hit there yet. But I also gave it like a 40 to 50-year window. Maybe it does happen.
I mean, you give it 50 years, anything can happen.
So anyway, that's the sport. Again, if you asked me 10 years ago, but with all the safety differences, and I feel like less and less people are like, oh my gosh, football, you're going to die if you play. Like I feel like in the last 3 years, I feel like less people are saying that, but there was a window of time where I felt like people were essentially trying to say that.
Yeah.
Which would scare a lot of people away from the game.
It scared me and my family.
So anyway, lacrosse is my like sleeper team here, or sport here, to make a little bit of a jump. But I think they got to appeal to the casual way more than they do. And maybe it's lacrosse's fault. I don't know. But it might be their own fault at the moment. Because it is kind of a fun watch. It's an interesting watch.
It seems very fast-paced.
It is.
Yeah.
So all the ingredients are there. And they score a lot.
Yeah.
The problem with like soccer, people, if you really love it, it's a beautiful game, and nobody scores.
Yeah.
Problem with hockey, doesn't score. Problem with baseball sometimes, not a lot of scoring.
Not if you're watching the Mets. Come on, baby.
You don't have that problem with lacrosse. So there might be a future in it for lacrosse. We'll see. Football at 5.
Sort of.
Kind of. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Continues after this.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
An isolated inland storm this evening, otherwise hot yet early on, and then a warm overnight as we only drop into the mid-70s. Partly sunny, hot and humid Friday, but scattered afternoon storms across the area. Highs still reach the mid-90s before the rain moves in. With the First Alert forecasts from the CBS 47 at Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds.
You can always get a bigger, better diamond for less at Beards Diamonds.
It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18. My home course. Make it your home course, too.
Be yourself and bank your way at Community First. Get free checking with rewards, your paycheck deposited a day early, and free digital tools. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
This should get your attention. You can get a freeze and squeeze at iCryo in St. Johns County. That means a visit to the cryo chamber and compression, two of the lifestyle services available at iCryo. And on Wellness Wednesdays, the freeze and squeeze is just $39. Also on Wednesdays, buy one, get one 50% off on vitamin shots and 20% off IV infusions. There's something for everyone at iCryo. Customizable packages, and if your kid is an athlete, how about the Student Athlete Pass for $99? iCryo in St. Johns County at the Pavilion at Durbin Park.
This man has just entered the gas price madness zone, pushed over the edge by skyrocketing gas prices. The remedy? Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Hey, wait a minute. Did you just say there's a free app I can get that'll actually pay me cash back on every gallon of gas I buy?
Yes, escape the gas price madness zone with the Upside app and earn real cash back on every gallon of gas you buy.
Yeah. Enough of the theatrics. Just tell me more about this Upside app.
Okay, it's super easy. Just download the free app and use it whenever you buy gas. Upside users can earn hundreds of dollars in cash back.
Wow, thanks, announcer guy. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PICK for an extra 25 cents per gallon or more cash back on your first fill up. You can cash out anytime. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PICK for a 25 cents per gallon or more bonus on your first tank.
Our friends over at Arlington Toyota want to know, what drives you? How about great service? Or what about getting more with your purchase? Then prepare yourself for the drive of a lifetime when you buy from Arlington Toyota. Arlington has over 500 new Toyotas available with inventory arriving daily. You also get a lifetime warranty with your purchase, plus 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. What drives you is what they do at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Thunderous dunks, crunching body slams, blazing fastballs, heart-racing game winners. Women's work is never done. SiriusXM is recognizing the 50th anniversary of Title IX by shining a light on how far we've come and how much further we need to go to ensure women have an equal chance to be great. Hear women's games, news, and analysis of women's sports and more. The 50th anniversary of Title IX. Download the SiriusXM app and listen now.
TrackPhone wants to know, are you an influencer, a big live streamer? No? Then guess what? You don't need an endless data plan. Get just the right amount of data with TrackPhone's new $40 unlimited talk and text smartphone plan. Now with 8 gigs of high-speed data and unlimited carryover on America's largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. Get the data you need at the price you want. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at trackphone.com.
O'Reilly. Stay cool this summer with AC Pro Refrigerant and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after mail-in rebate, plus earn double O Rewards points with the purchase of select AC Pro Refrigerant products. Beat the heat before you hit the road with AC Pro Refrigerant at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Probably the only leverage would be to make it extremely uncomfortable for this organization if Irving isn't here and he, I won't say publicly asks to be out, but makes it known that he does not want to be it, and it just becomes a news story that hangs over this organization for a long time, similar to what we saw with Carmelo Anthony back in 2010. So from a leverage standpoint, no, he's not in an expiring contract. But as you guys know, when a player wants out and makes it known, it becomes a very uncomfortable situation for everyone.
I listened. I didn't know who that was, though.
I don't know, some guy.
Some guy.
Some dude.
I don't know who he is either. Bobby Marks.
Really? Why wouldn't we know that?
Because it has to do with the NBA.
M. Masters. That's his full name on the feed?
I think
YouTube?
so. There might be some numbers.
Okay. It says pickleball.
We were just talking about
pickleball.
pickleball.
Talking about pickleball. It might be part of our triathlon.
I
Best
love
triathlon ever.
What about the King's sport in 50 years? Pickleball, it might be.
I don't think so.
No.
I can't get into pickleball. Like, I haven't really tried it, but it is amazing how fast
really
it's
blowing up.
Like, unreal.
Yeah.
And actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's an older demographic.
Sure. But, like, you can build in drinking to it, and, like, everyone enjoys
and you
a
don't have to
hang.
move around. Like, tennis hurts after a while.
Yeah, man.
You know? Tennis, by the way, is a more popular sport at the youth level. Tennis is a lot like soccer in the sense that it's, like, you don't really feel like tennis is big, but it's huge at the youth level. Like, there's so many kids playing tennis. I mean, go to, like, Eagle Harbor, and you'll see, like, hundreds of kids playing tennis, and probably at every, like, country club and other areas in town, which it should be big here with the ATP. I mean, I'd hope so. But it's kind of like soccer in that sense where if you go to a soccer field, kids on it all the time. But soccer doesn't feel like, oh, my gosh, what a sport. It's growing in the United States. It's bigger than ever. I mean, it is, but it doesn't always feel that way.
But as a parent of two kids, you know that the biggest sport for young children, like sub-7, is most likely soccer. It's really the only league you can get them in.
And the only reason we played soccer, well, I shouldn't say the only reason. I played soccer when I was a kid. I think it was like one of the first sports I did.
Yeah.
But like I know when we were getting the kids into different sports, at 4 years old, they could play soccer.
Yeah.
At 5, they had to wait until 5 to play baseball or t-ball.
6 or 7 for basketball, yeah.
Is that what it is, 6, 7? So you can, the entry level for soccer is, I think, the earliest, or at least one of.
Also, in most cases, you're not buying a ton of equipment for your 4-year-old or 5-year-old to play soccer, right? Maybe you got a soccer ball at home for them to run around with, but, you know, if you're playing baseball, you need the glove, you need the bat, you need the batting gloves. Football, you got all kinds of equipment to buy. Basketball, you're picking up a basketball. That's the end of the day, you know? And the only thing, you know, MMA, this is part of the conversation from before the break. You know, one of the reasons why I thought MMA was going to be such a big sport is because you don't need an investment to get in other than learning, right? You got to get trained on being a fighter, but it's not a sport for kids. Like, no parents are throwing their kids, telling them to go roll around with the Gracies over there.
That's a really good point. Like, when do you pick up MMA?
You got to be an adult, or at least an older young adult, 18 plus.
Casey, do you know of, I mean, again, you're around a little bit. Do you know of any, are there like youth leagues for MMA?
I don't know that, but like I know there are guys that are in the UFC that are like 19.
And there are like jiu-jitsu tournaments for kids and stuff.
Well, yeah, so you're putting the skills, right? Wrestling, jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, my brothers-in-law are in high school. They both wrestle. Like, kids do that stuff, but MMA, it does seem like a bit of a leap, even though they're already doing those activities. They're already doing the wrestling, the taekwondo, the jiu-jitsu. So why not do MMA in high school?
Yeah, because it feels like you're encouraging pummeling someone's face.
Because you are. For real.
That's an interesting dynamic that I never thought of with MMA.
Yeah.
And how unique is that? Like, there's no other sport that you have to be an adult to start it. I mean, I know that's not like defined that way, but it feels that way.
It definitely feels that way.
And you are doing some of the things, but like, okay, you're a wrestler. Well, then you better work on the boxing and the jiu-jitsu and the other. So you have to work on these other elements, exercises, and you have to train yourself. So you're not ready when you're 18 or 19 just because you've been a wrestler to go get in a cage.
Right.
Like, that takes probably another 2, 3, 4 years to then start climbing up that ladder. So now you're in your 20s, and that's when your career really starts in that sport. Like, I just don't even know of another sport that even operates that way.
I can't see who left the comment. It might have been Sawyer because he was leaving a few at the time, but he mentioned Conor McGregor putting the UFC over. And back to your personalities conversation, like, for sports to really blow up nationally on a huge scale, you do need these huge, larger-than-life personalities in the sport who aren't just talented, but are compelling and entertaining.
Yeah, well, that is true. That's why it took a big leap.
It's also why I don't think lacrosse is going to be anything special anytime soon.
Well, we said that. Yeah, you don't have a star. Like, you can't name a star, a personality.
Yeah.
But sports, I mean, social media has opened us up to...
That's fair.
Potentially find that person if they exist. Always think of this, and I think people have kind of made this comparison before. Take a lot of people will say the NBA has the greatest athlete that we have in sport. And I know that's not like broad brushed, 100% right. But one of the great athletes we have in our last 20 years is no doubt LeBron James. So if you take LeBron James and you put him on the football field, which he's kind of flirted with the idea and talked about, we think he'd be good. We don't know he'd be Travis Kelce.
Certainly has a big enough body to do it.
But we think he'd be good. Stick and ball sport of baseball probably feel a little bit different because it takes hand-eye coordination. We don't know. You can be a specimen, but you might not be able to hit a baseball. But I do think if you take soccer, like we would say, if you took LeBron James and put him somewhere on a soccer field, he'd probably be damn good.
It's interesting. I guess it depends on his stamina. He's got to have big stamina. He's running for 48 minutes a night.
But we don't have an athlete like that on the soccer field.
Not that I know.
So the point, right, Casey? I mean, so the point being is we, at least in the United States, doesn't even have someone to the equivalent or even close from an athlete standpoint of like a LeBron or, pick somebody else if you want, like out of football. I just don't think it exists on the soccer pitch in the United States. That's not to say it doesn't elsewhere. Like the best athlete maybe in Spain does play soccer, but the best athlete in the United States
does not.
It's like the sixth sport they would play. And so you wonder if they did play that, or how good would LeBron James be at freaking, I say stick and ball sports, but it feels like he'd be pretty damn good at lacrosse.
At whatever he chose to do. And the man is just a specimen.
But I do think, I think baseball is different because I think baseball is like
it's
the hardest
special
thing.
skill.
That
you
just
have to
showcases
really
why
train for,
baseball is really hard to do anyway.
Sure.
Because I don't think LeBron James could go up to the batter's box and get a hit.
Yeah,
I think LeBron James could score a goal or be a good goalie or be a good defender in soccer. I think he could score in lacrosse. I think he could score a touchdown in the NFL. I'm not convinced LeBron James could go play a Major League Baseball game and get a hit. I just don't think it doesn't matter how big and fast and strong
against
he is.
professional pitching, it seems unlikely, right?
Yeah, you could go to slow pitch softball and probably hit it a long way.
That's my kind of softball.
But even LeBron James could go play golf and get the right tutelage and find Chuck Barkley's coach and probably be
a lot of
good.
these guys do that as a follow-up act to their sports career.
So it is it's fascinating in that respect of where the great athletes go. And my point being, if lacrosse could find that guy, find Jim Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, Jim Brown played that sport. If they could find Jim Brown of today's day, then you might elevate the sport to Conor McGregor type levels.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's funny, you talk about these guys who could play other sports or do other things. But what about these regular average Joes trying to go up against the pros? A guy like Jake Paul, who went from social media influencer to basically full-on boxer, just announced his fight with Tommy Fury is a go. So they're going to put millions on the line for Tommy Fury, who's a real deal boxer, to get in the ring with Jake Paul. And who knows what we're getting there.
Are we tired of that yet?
I'm not. Because you got to see the villain get knocked out. We still haven't seen it. We haven't seen the villain go down.
Casey, this sounds like good morning show fodder on 96.9 The Eagle. Like, what about you, Casey? You tired of the Jake Paul stuff?
I like Logan better.
So you're not tired of him?
I'm kind of tired of Jake. I like Logan better.
As a person, but what about these spectacles, like the upcoming fight?
I don't care at all. I won't watch even if it was free. If it was Logan Paul, I'd consider watching if I could get it for free. I just don't like the dude, as in Jake. But
he's pretty hateable.
Yeah, I don't need to see like Nate Robinson. What was that last one?
Last
Darren
one was Tyron
Williams?
Woodley.
No. I'm talking that one, yeah. But I'm talking like Darren Williams. Remember, he boxed somebody also from the NBA.
Frank Gore, I think, fought somebody. Was that Darren Williams or somebody else?
It was. Like, I don't need that, So I'm good. I'm good without it.
I feel like that stuff is such a scam.
It seems like it, with all the NDAs and all the cash taking, and suddenly these guys who are pro boxers or MMA guys going down on a single hit from a YouTube influencer.
Yeah, and I just can't believe people pay for it. Like, if it was sponsored and that's where you're making your dollars, and then people don't, they just get to see it.
They want to see the villain go
different,
down.
But pay for it is like,
it's the villain.
My gosh, throwing away money. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Don't forget, Action Sports Jax OT coming up right after this. Casey Kurtz, Brian Middleton, and right into the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp here on a Thursday night. We'll be right back.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are energized by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab a free sample of Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
Welcome to Daytona Soccer Fest, the all-in-one soccer, music, cars, and much more 4th of July weekend spectacular. We're building a soccer stadium at Daytona International Speedway, and matches will be played there for the first time in history. Also, full concerts from Raul Alejandro and Chance the Rapper, Toyota Thrill Rides, and the World Freestyle Federation. Daily passes starting at $99. Get your tickets at DaytonaSoccerFest.com. For a limited time, buy one, get one free.
For survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties, Hubbard House provides free, confidential emergency shelter and services. Call our 24-hour hotline at 904-354-3114.
A new era is here for Jaguars football. New championship-winning coach, new superstars, and new optimism. One consistent this fall is Tailgaters Parking will still be delivering the very best tailgating experience at the bank all season. Tailgaters Parking doesn't just talk a big game. They're right across the street from TIAA Bank Field. Offer clean, permanent restrooms, food options, a full liquor bar, and all parking spots are on a well-kept grass lot. Check out Tailgaters Parking at tailgatersparking.com to reserve your spot today.
Honey, I'm home.
Don't honey me. I'm still mad at you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You and those cheap do-it-yourself cameras. I told you, call SafeTouch, but no, you tried to save a buck. So when those two thieves broke in, our kids were locked in the closet trying to call 911. SafeTouch cameras would have alerted the thieves that they were being recorded, and you and I would have been notified with actual video on our smartphones. The SafeTouch two-way communicator would have already had the emergency authorities on the way.
I know. We really need the SafeTouch 5-star security and surveillance system. I'll call today.
I already did. SafeTouch is installing our new 5-star surveillance system in the morning.
Every family needs the SafeTouch security and surveillance system. Call now and get a free demonstration. 888-723-8682 or online at safetouch.com. Dramatization of actual event. EF 0000233. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Keith Gurr, president of American Window Products. We are Jacksonville's oldest replacement window company. We have been providing excellent service for over 38 years and still have an A+ rating. At American Window Products, we have helped over 36,000 homeowners, and we don't use subcontractors. Right now, we're offering a free installation on 6 or more windows, as well as a free energy package. Go to AmericanWindowProducts.com and click for an estimate. That's AmericanWindowProducts.com. American Window Products, we are the window professionals.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
The final wing is ahead of schedule.
Slater's construction company has built a solid reputation.
Yeah, foundation looks great. Let's get a team in place for analysis.
Now they need structural engineers to support their business expansion.
We should have engineers in-house. That would put us ahead of the competition.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Technology lets you access a personal trainer from home, like on this exercise mirror.
Less talking, more squatting.
But to keep your hybrid workforce in shape, you need more than technology.
And kick. And jump.
You need PCs powered by Intel vPro, custom configured by CDW. Hardware-based security and remote management make it easy to protect and monitor PCs from anywhere.
Wait, don't turn me off.
Intel vPro makes secure remote management possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/Intel client.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
If you're Steve Sarkisian, the head coach at Texas, you're looking around at name, image, likeness, and maybe a tip of the cap and saying, hey, we put together a package that got Arch here, but man, there's going to be a ton of pressure on Texas going into the SEC to make sure that Arch Manning comes out and is good from day one.
Arch Manning, the big story across the sports world today. Picked a good time. A little quiet in the sports world.
Might be why they did it.
Probably a little method to their madness.
I know you'd like to believe that family is pristine and good people, but you know, people are savvy.
Yeah, you can be good people and savvy and still market.
That's true.
That's okay.
That's true.
Everybody's got to make some money, perhaps, and start it. I mean, you got to be aware of the brand.
Yeah.
Start it early. And you started earlier than ever before. All right, so we got another show tomorrow. Then the deal here is we got taking a little bit of a hiatus here around the 4th of July. And that includes Action Sports Jax OT, doing some behind-the-scenes work as well. Not me, but these guys are. And then back at it right into July, and then we roll into when training camp. I didn't even mention this, but training camp has been announced now. The Jags will have camp. They report on July 24th, but I felt like that was almost common knowledge. July 25th will be the start of camp, and it'll be at Episcopal. And it'll be more important than ever to tune into us and watch us on TV as well, because I don't believe the fans are, I mean, because of the way this is all set up, it's not like open to everybody, I don't think.
I think a lot of teams are doing that differently this year.
Are they?
Yeah. I'm reading that a lot around the league.
So we'll see how training camp, again, it's about a month away. But that's kind of the plan going forward. Now, we'll be back before training camp starts, but that is what's happening. So anyway, I'm going to I got a flight to like Colorado area next week, and I'll be on different flights over the next couple weeks, couple different ways.
Have you ever vacationed in Colorado?
No.
So my recommendation to you would be anything with green chilies on it.
Really?
They're big on green chilies in Colorado.
Interesting.
And for the right reason. It's delicious.
All right, green chilies. I'm going to remember that.
Yeah.
Really, my question is there anything to watch right now that I should be downloading?
For your travels?
Yes.
Yes. So I know me and Casey were talking about it. Have you seen that Adam Sandler Netflix movie?
No, I've heard about that. My buddy told me it's really good.
It's a good watch, especially for a sports fan. That'll
That's
give
just
you an
a
hour and a
movie,
half.
right?
Yeah, it's a movie. Me and my wife just watched a good movie over the last couple of nights. We're starting to do that now. Instead of binging TV shows, we'll do a movie over the course of 3 or 4 nights. I told her, just keep falling asleep, and we'll pick it up the next night. It's like watching a TV show you fall asleep on.
It kind of is.
We watched a movie called Card Counter with the dude from Star Wars, who's now in Marvel. I forget his name, Isaac something. Oh, he did the Moon Knight on Disney+. But this Card Counter movie was really good, about an ex-soldier who was traumatized from working at Abu Ghraib, who then becomes a card counter, and he takes on a kid. It was a good movie. But TV shows... Card Counter, yeah. I love gambling movies, but this one was a pretty good one.
Casey, you got anything for me? You been watching anything?
Ain't nothing for you, bro.
Because that's right. Amanda doesn't like movies.
Yeah, I got nothing.
But you guys don't watch TV shows other than The Bachelor?
No, I mean, not really. I watch like Star Wars stuff, but I know you're not interested in that, so I just thought I'd save you the time.
That's good. I appreciate that.
That Obi-Wan show is good, though, Casey, isn't it?
Is that as good as people have been saying at times on social media? I run into that from time to time.
I just watched the finale last night. It was tremendous.
Have you watched it, Casey?
No.
Oh, so you haven't even watched it?
No. I told Aaron, I don't know why he brought me into this, that I'm watching all the other stuff that I've already seen that leads into it perfectly.
Oh, okay.
So I'm watching the movies and the whole 6 seasons of the animated show, and I'm watching it all to lead up to get the exact, remember exactly everything.
I got you.
So I'm still a long ways out.
So just like a refresher.
It's very much a cadence of excuses coming from Casey right now. He's never getting to any of that stuff. You're never going to do it.
Do you think over the next, how long will this take you to catch up on all this stuff?
3.5 years.
No, it won't. Not super long.
I mean, the problem with you is you watch a lot of sports.
I do.
So you really tuned in.
And I play a lot of FIFA. Mostly.
And so that takes up your time.
Yeah.
What are some genres you're into? What are you looking to watch?
That's a good question. I'm pretty
wide
open
into gangster
guy.
stuff?
Yeah, I'm more like out of the drama mold. I brought up recently, Mayor of Easttown was really cool, right?
All right.
So, and I'm a big fan of, I like the shows that have, one season. So I don't have to, because I can do, 10 episodes, but I'm probably not getting to 18 episodes. I'm going to run out of time, and I'm going to put it down. And the only one I haven't done that with is Yellowstone. I've watched every episode of Yellowstone.
A lot of people love that
and
show.
locked in.
Have you checked out Ted Lasso yet?
Did the Ted Lasso
That's
thing.
a good show. 2 seasons on that.
They're only going three seasons of Ted Lasso.
Love it.
Right?
Love when shows do this. BBC is notorious for this. They'll do 3 to 5 seasons only, like The Office on the BBC before it came to America was, I think, 2 seasons. They do this on purpose, I believe, because the writers and producers go to the network with a beginning, middle, and end to the show. and then they've got it written, and then they do it. They make a show with the intention on closing it. Versus here in the States, you get a successful show, and the network goes, well, let's do this for a few more years.
Yeah, right. Write another 12 episodes.
Yes,
but now you're like forcing it.
Yes.
And that's why things are never as good.
Yes. The show Lost was this. It was like the first 2 or 3 seasons were tremendous. Writer strike happens. They figured out they had an end, and then the network's like, yeah, but you got to stretch it over 3 or 4 more seasons. And then you just meander.
It's a problem, man. It's just like when everything is all about money, it usually gets screwed up and it's not as good.
People just trying to earn out there, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I kind of get it, but it's still not as good. It's
well, it never really mixes
good.
well with art, right? Money and art almost never mix well together. Either the art is great because it's art or the art sells because it's playing to the people, but, usually you don't see crossover with great art that also, encourages, money and exploitation.
I'm going to have to find another show, though. We'll watch that Adam Sandler movie because I've been recommended a couple of times, so that'll be good. I don't need a lot. I watch like no TV.
Man, you guys are missing out. Peak TV right now. You got all the streamers, all the networks. There's all kinds of content out there. It's great.
So you're saying like TV's never been better?
That's how I feel about it, yeah. Like I have to keep a list now because with all these different streamers and stuff, you don't know what you're in the middle of, right? Like you don't have a home screen that goes this network and this, like Netflix doesn't talk to Disney.
That would be nice if that happened.
Right? But
can we come up with a business structure?
I think a couple of companies have tried. It's just the streamers themselves don't want to encourage you buying others.
Listen, I'll give you this. Like you have them all eventually, it feels like, at least for the trial period or whatever it is. But like Yellowstone jumped from Peacock to Paramount or Paramount to Peacock or something like that.
I didn't know.
Midway through, like the next season.
How do you find it?
I don't know. It was a crazy thing. And it was such a good show that it didn't matter. I still found it.
That's great.
Everything else I would have been like, screw this, dude. I don't have that. I just don't want to do it.
That's cool.
But so you actually, if you wanted to see past seasons, you'd go to like Peacock.
But
and if you wanted to see the current season, you go to Paramount. It might be vice versa there. Or whatever.
That's annoying, though.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. It's like trying to watch the Olympics. You got no idea where to go.
Well, that's true, too. Yeah, good point. CNBC, they've got the swimming.
Cool. Can't wait.
Action Sports Jax OT coming up next. Casey Kurtz, Brian Middleton. I'll see you on TV tonight, CBS 47, Fox 30. You'll be on 96.9 The Eagle in the morning.
Bright and early.
And back here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 tomorrow. We are everywhere, people. Hey, that's our new slogan, ESPN 690. We are everywhere. Have a good night.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-326-7765 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-326-7765. That's 800-326-7765. What do you have to lose? Call 800-326-7765. Again, 800-326-7765.
If you've been involved in a car accident and are not sure of your legal options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Spring deals are making moves at your First Coast Acura dealers with $1,000 in down payment assistance and market-leading APR offers when you pre-order the 2022 Acura RDX crossover SUV. FirstCoastAcuraDealers.com. Shop loyalty appreciation offers.
Walk into 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center, and it doesn't feel like you're going to the doctors. Beautiful artwork of Jacksonville on the south side location, a laid-back atmosphere, and Rep Butler and his staff are really fun to talk to, and they are there to help you out. First-time appointments and adjustments, just $39 and maybe less pending your insurance. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. 3 locations, south side, St. Augustine, and the west side. Look them up at 904chiro.com. 3 locations, 904chiro.com. ESPN690golf.com. Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Title 9. Download the SiriusXM app and listen now.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. The next generation of the Manning quarterback dynasty will play at the University of Texas. Arch Manning, son of Cooper, nephew of Peyton and Eli, and grandson of Archie, plays at Newman High School in New Orleans now. He's the #1 recruit in the country in the high school class of 2023. The NBA draft is tonight in Brooklyn. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting the order of the top 3 picks appears to be Jabari Smith, #1 to the Magic, followed by Chet Holmgren to the Thunder and Paolo Banchero to the Rockets. As for the 4th pick held by the Kings, here's ESPN's Brian Windhorst.
The latest intel I have is that Sacramento intends to keep that pick. And I would be stunned if they don't take Jaden Ivey at that pick. It doesn't fit with where their team is right now, and the Kings are known for making bizarre decisions on draft night.
Brian Windhorst on Barton Hahn. NBA draft coverage starts at 7 Eastern here on ESPN Radio, 8 Eastern on ABC and ESPN TV.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. And now, a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You can save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you could save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or Progressive.com.
If you having take problems, I feel bad for you, son.
Rolling along on a Thursday, Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. I don't know what Brent did to this microphone, but it's way taller than it usually is. There we go. Why would he make the... Never mind. Anyway, Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. On a Thursday, Brian Milton on the 1s and 2s. If you're watching on the stream, you can no longer see him because the camera broke. And if you're trying to watch on Facebook, you can no longer watch because the Facebook doesn't exist. We're working on it, folks. I don't know what happened, but don't blame me. I know I'm the easy person to blame here. Don't blame me. I don't know what happened. So
feels like you had a hand in it. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if it's your fault 100%.
I was the person that
25%.
I was the person that found it gone. So
how did you find it gone? You just clicked on it to update something, or
no? Facebook told me it's gone forever. You did something you shouldn't have. Goodbye.
You should be able to fight this.
Yeah, somebody is.
I guess ESPN is just that big, though. Until you fight it for real and prove your case, it's gone forever.
Yeah. So I don't know. But if you're usually watching on Facebook, please don't comment. Why are you not on Facebook? I don't know. But feel free to watch any of the other platforms: YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's the platforms. Or you can just listen. ESPN 690 AM, 690.com. The TuneIn app, Odyssey. There's a whole bunch of ways to find us. If you listen to anything anywhere that's an app, go ahead and just type in ESPN 690 for a good luck, and I'm sure you will find us. The broadcast on Brian Middleton on the ones and twos. Casey Kurtz with you, leading into Jumbo Shrimp Baseball tonight. Coming up at 6:50, they take on the Durham Bulls. We got a lot going on tonight, mostly because of the NBA draft. Brian Middleton is an NBA fan, so we'll talk about the draft a little bit as we go along and what kind of spectacle it is. That interests me because, like, the NFL draft is something you talk about for months and you lead into since the Super Bowl ends. And really, when you're the worst team in the league like Jacksonville, you talk about it since, like, November. I don't get that sense with the NBA. Mostly there's a lottery part of it and all that, but we will talk about that as we go along. The Lightning lose last night on a goal that should not have counted from the Colorado Avalanche. They in overtime, well, they cheated, you know. You can't have that many people on the ice, and they did. It's cheating. That is literally the definition of cheating.
Sounds like your problem's with the referees, though. Not with Colorado.
Well, they cheated.
Well, if they're going to let me do it and not call it.
That is fair. I'll give you that. I will give you that.
Feels like the Lightning need to learn how to cheat. If this is how they're letting stuff go. That's all I'm saying.
That's a good call. You know, if they're going to cheat, you might as well cheat with the best of them, right? I think it's just Toronto hates the Lightning. That's where the league offices are. Everybody hates the Lightning because they're so good. So the Colorado Cheaters will take a 3-1 lead back to Denver with a chance to close it out. The Cup will be in the building for the next game in Denver.
And see, Casey, another reason why you brought it up, I doubled down. I feel like referees, officials need to have post games.
It's a great call. It's one of your best calls of all time, to be honest.
They need to be able to sit in front of the crowd like any one of the players that are getting questioned on the Lightning about why you're down 3-1 or on the Avalanche, like, how'd you guys build this lead? Well, we built this lead in Game 4 because we were able to cheat.
We cheated.
You know what I'm saying? The officials need to be able to do the same thing.
We could cheat, and nobody told us not to cheat, so thus we cheated, is pretty much what happened. So I'm telling you, that's a great call, man. The officials and the referees need post-gamers. What happened? Why did you screw this up completely? Like, why?
You forming a question.
Yeah, like, why did you ruin the game for half of the people watching, roughly? You know?
A great game.
A great game. You know, an overtime game. Like, why would you let it end the way it did? But really, we should take a mic up to the NFL office or the NHL office and ask why we can't review that play. Because they looked at it to make sure the goal was good, but you can't review the too many men on the ice part of it. Stupid. It's just stupid. So, anyway.
Did anybody ask, like, the Colorado team, did they ask any player or coach did they ask them about that? Like, hey, did you guys know?
I think they asked their coach. I forget what he said. He was just like, it's hockey, probably.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just, stupid stuff. So, the Lightning go down 3-1. Also, I want to work this in because I tweeted it, and Brent and Aaron argued with me, and then they got absolutely obliterated by the point I made, and then they got lit up on a Delphonic meme on Twitter. But I tweeted this last night, and there was some serious pushback. I think both of them are wrong. But nonetheless, what I tweeted was something. Here it is. Shohei Ohtani is unquestionably the best player in the history of the sport, talking baseball. Why he's not the lead story on every sports show every day is mind-blowing. So since we have a sports show, and it's still technically the lead of the show, we're going to talk about Shohei Ohtani. And
right. Let me preface this before you get into your bag, right? Marcus Wilson, friend of the show.
Oh, yeah.
He texted me, and I think it was during this time because I checked in on the stream, and I feel like, you were being contentious and very strong with your opinion with Brent, and Brent kept saying, you're making me, rethink my opinion or something like that.
That's true.
But he said that, actually, let me pull it up real quick, but he was very complimentary of the way that you were attacking Brent. He said, Casey be killing Brent.
Yeah, I was.
And then he said some other stuff about the show being the best in the city, but it was some disrespect thrown at probably competitors. I'm not going to read all that. But he was very complimentary of the way that you attacked that. I didn't hear it firsthand. I caught it on the back end.
Yeah.
By all means. I just want to let that out there before you continued on.
Appreciate it. Marcus is a good guy. He's welcome here anytime. So here's pretty much what I said. And you have a guy, and I'll tell you what Brent and Aaron arguments were, but this is my argument. So the stat that's floating around, which is pretty improbable, is 2 nights ago now, Shohei Ohtani as a hitter only. He hits and pitches, for those that don't know, but you probably know by now. So 2 nights ago, he was in the lineup as a hitter and had 8 RBIs and hit 2 home runs. The very next night, as a pitcher, same human, struck out 13 guys in 8 shutout innings to go on and get the win. He also, in a side note, got on base 3 times as the pitcher at the plate. So these are things that nobody else can do on this planet. And the only thing you can compare him to is Babe Ruth, who played hundreds of years ago before there was electricity. And we compare him to this guy when, for lack of a better term, baseball just wasn't as good then. It's better now. I think everyone will agree that athletes in every sport now are better than they were in like the 20s and 30s. Agree?
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
you
just
with me
in
there?
general. Yeah.
Yeah. You got better training.
Way that it works.
You got better recovery. All kinds of things. So that's part one of it. But I said, like I said it, he's unquestionably the best player of all time, which is where the pushback came from Aaron and Brent saying that, oh, he's not the best hitter in the league or the best pitcher. But think about that. He is better than most at pitching and better at most than hitting. It would be like if Patrick Mahomes was the best quarterback as well as the best cornerback. These are two things that we would never consider to be a thing. This guy is incredible at both sides of the ball that human beings do not do. When you put a pitcher at the plate, they literally change the rule in a sport that has been around for hundreds of years, so pitchers no longer have to hit. And this guy hits.
Okay. Well,
home runs.
All right. I don't know how deep you want to get back into this. I would have a couple of questions. So you say he's incredible at pitching and hitting, and sorry, my headphones going out, so I can't. I'm going to listen to you from the control room, okay? So I haven't looked up his stats.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where he ranks. I don't know if he's top 15, top 20 in average, RBI, any of those advanced statistics, homers, anything like that. I don't know if he is. But when I think incredible, I'm thinking, okay, like you know what, you're one of the actually best hitters, right? And then pitching, again, I don't know any of his stats. From ERA to strikeouts to walks, anything like that. So when you say incredible on both sides of the plate, I'm thinking that he's in the top 20, 25, 30. 30 is my cutoff for incredible in any sport, even baseball. So if you're telling me that he's in the top percentage, the top 20, 25, 30, in both of those, then I'm with you. If you're just saying that it's incredible that he's respectable at both ends because nobody does that. Like, nobody does that nowadays as far as I can hit and I can pitch. And I can make a team if I just did one of those things at the level that I'm doing it at. Not that it's the top, the top, 10, top 15, but I could get on a roster. I could be one of the starting 4 or 5 pitchers. I could get into your lineup as far as batting and make the team that way, then I'm with you. But, if he's just above average or just slightly above average in both, I can understand some of the pushback. Now, the other question I would have would be this, Casey. Now, Mike Trout is your – now, you said Mike Trout. I was here last month and the month before, and you've tripled down on Mike Trout. And now when I hear best player, that's different than you saying Mike Trout is the GOAT. Is that what you're telling me? Mike Trout is still your GOAT, still the GOAT, but Ohtani is the actual best player, more so than Mike Trout.
Okay, a lot of good points there. And you are absolutely right in terms of I've said that about Trout, but this hit me last night like it never has. And here's what I'll say about this, right? In that part of it. Mike Trout is by far the best position player to ever play. But I've now, and he will be when he's all said and done also as well. I should add that in. But I think that's where he will be. And for a while, I did say player, but last night, I don't know why. I watch Ohtani pretty much every time he pitches because it's fascinating to me. I don't watch every Angels game, so I'm not seeing him every time he's at the plate. But what hit me was, as a player, he is the best player. He's not the best pitcher, and he's not the best position player. You feel me on that? Because those are two different things in terms of, like I tried to compare it to football with like a quarterback and a cornerback. Those are two completely different things. But Ohtani does both of them in the terms you tried to just put it in, at an above top 20 level in the game in terms of home runs and ERA. Those are the two easiest ones to point at. He is the best player because he does both. Like, there's no one that can do both, period. Not even good. Like, there's a dude, Brendan McKay, who they tried to make two-way for the Rays, and he couldn't hit when he got to the show. He also really couldn't pitch either, and that's why he's had some injury issues and all that. But this guy not only is the only one that can do it, but he does it at a top 20 level. He was the MVP last year because he hit 40-something home runs and had a good ERA. Now, to the point you just tried to make in terms of the stats, right? Last year, he didn't pitch as much because he was coming off of injury. So he's pitching more this year, and his ERA is better as it currently stands. So this might be the banner year for the pitching stats. He's still in the top 17 in home runs. So you see where I'm going with that? Like, can you understand, I guess, the argument I'm trying to make? I know you're working through a headphone issue.
Yeah, I can understand the argument. I think I will still understand pushback. But you could convince me, I think, depending on what stat you want to pull, and based off of the history of his time in the league so far, and then pointing to other examples that have tried and failed. So, I can understand the track that you are on as far as saying that he's the best player. But, again, the back and forth between you and the guys in the main show, I don't know what it was, but it was impressive to some. So you clearly made your point to enough people. Absolutely.
Appreciate you. I'm just trying to get the point across. By the way, go back to listen to that hour 2 in the podcast. But I'm trying to get the point across that is this. Nobody else is doing this. And the fact that we just kind of brush over it like it's a normal thing because he's made it normal, it's not normal. We will never see this again at this level. So I think it just deserves more than we're really giving it. We got NBA draft talk on the other side. Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. We'll be right back.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. When you look at a schedule, it reveals more than even the schedule what you really think about that team. Bad teams, their schedules always look brutal because they're no good, so you don't think they're going to win many games. Good teams, you look at the schedule, oh, it's not so bad because they're favored in a lot of those games. I guess I would also take the under on the Jets, but just. Like, I think 5.5 games is right. I'll take the under.
Key, J, and Max, followed by Greeny. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
An isolated inland storm this evening, otherwise hot yet early on, and then a warm overnight as we only drop into the mid-70s. Partly sunny, hot and humid Friday, but scattered afternoon storms across the area. Highs still reach the mid-90s before the rain moves in. With the First Alert forecasts from the CBS 47 at Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds.
Beards has higher quality diamonds for less money than any other store.
Summer is in full swing and the deals are heating up at Lowe's. Find 4th of July savings to keep your yard looking healthy the whole season. Protect your soil from the heat with a bag of Scott's Naturescapes mulch, now 3 for $10. And celebrate the 4th with our select 2.5-quart red, white, and blue annuals, 2 for $10. Find more savings this 4th of July at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Valid 6/23 through 7/6 while supplies last. Annuals offer in-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Meet Boost, the fizzing amazing vitamin boost that turn your H2O into H2O, so you feel like
I like to boost it, my vitamins can boost it. I like to boost it, we like to boost it.
Because it's not just vitamins, it's Boost, the fizzing amazing vitamin boost.
Find Boost, the vitamin boosts, at Walmart or Walmart.com and give yourself a boost with Boost.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with the Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
Carla's retiring early next month. We're all going to have to learn to pick up a slack.
The dessert-making role at Sawyer's Restaurant, deserted.
Tom, if you can handle beignets.
They need a new pastry chef who can souffle like it's a piece of cake.
Come on, guys, we got a line out the door. How much longer for those croissants?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Summer is in full swing and the deals are heating up at Lowe's. Find 4th of July savings to keep your yard looking healthy the whole season. Protect your soil from the heat with a bag of Scott's Naturescapes mulch, now 3 for $10. And celebrate the 4th with our select 2.5-quart red, white, and blue annuals, 2 for $10. Find more savings this 4th of July at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Valid 6/23 through 7/6 while supplies last. Annuals offer in-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hey, it's Brent Mortno from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Rolling along on a Thursday, Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. Brian Middleton on the ones and twos. Casey Kurtz with you as well. We got Jumbo Shrimp Baseball coming up in 30 minutes time. That's quick math, Brian Middleton. I know I'm close, off by 30 seconds or so, but we got some NBA draft talk, and we welcome in Chase Bunker from 104.5 WOKV, the only person I know publicly that's a Magic fan, right?
Yes.
Like, I feel like nobody's walking around, like, supporting the Magic but you. That I know.
Well, we like to keep ourselves in hiding because, I mean, why would you ever want to be vocally saying, like, I'm a Jags fan? It's like right now being a Browns fan.
There you go, Chase.
Yeah.
That's how you shoot back.
That's
you
good.
see what Casey does? He comes in with the polite voice and he shoots at you, right? Talking about that you're a Magic fan.
Yeah.
That's how you shoot back about him being a Jags fan, though. I like that. Good job.
There
Good
you
job.
go.
It was good, but I'm not going to lie to you. Remember the audience.
Oh, I know.
So you might have just made everybody listening mad.
I know that I've made your listeners mad before once because I said on one episode, hey, maybe Trent Baalke might stay for one more year.
Oh,
and
you did
everybody,
do that.
Yeah, and everybody got mad at me for saying that.
Yeah. So now you really don't want a career in the sports business over here because you're doing well in the news business. You're like, you know what?
Define well. Like, let's not get too hasty here.
That's true.
Like, I want second place. Like, that doesn't mean much. Like, I mean, ugh. But I mean, isn't that what sports is? Like, everyone loves like the antagonistic guy. Like, isn't that why we like Stephen A? Because he says like absurd, outlandish things. Like, I just say absurd, outlandish things, but I also tell the truth. Like, I think Jags fans even can admit, hey, we're kind of not the greatest right now, but that's okay. Like, it happens with every team. But anyway, continue.
That's
your
reasonable.
show.
Appreciate it. So let's start there. Not even about the draft. How does one become a Magic fan? Like, how long have you been a Magic fan?
I've been a Magic fan since the inception, yes, unfortunately. You kind of just get, like, indoctrinated. I feel like that's with any fandom. Like, your dad says, oh, we're a fan of this. Well, I guess I'm a fan too now. And we stick with that decision no matter how bad that team is.
So you were around when it was good. There was a time it was good.
Yes. I remember those days. Even with like the Scott Skiles, the Penny Hardaway, the Shaq years, and then you can even think back to the Rashard Lewis, Mikhail Air France. I forgot his name. Michael Pietrus. Excuse me. I've been mixing my hockey.
It's all right.
Yeah, just that era.
Wasn't
so much fun.
Stojakovic on your team or something?
Who?
Wasn't there? Not a
Heda Turkoglu.
Turkoglu. That's
yes.
who it is.
The other guy. Sacramento King. That came over.
That's a good pull, Brian. Well done. Brian's a big-time NBA fan.
Oh, yeah.
But he's a fan of the other team in Florida. That would be the Miami Heat. So, is that a rivalry, by the way?
It is, but I mean, it's one of those, like, no matter how bad, like, we'll still have, like, our center just put up 30 points. Like, even, like, in our worst year, like, you still see Nikola Vucevic just go off for 40 and a win. Like, it was always crazy. Like, we would be the worst team in the league. All of a sudden, oh, hey, Nikola Vucevic, 40-point triple-double. And that always happens for some reason. So, yeah, it's a rivalry. Granted, our records are completely opposite.
Completely.
But you know, for the sake of rivalry, bandwagon.
I was just,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now he's making.
I'm just gonna point
shooting
guns
at
both.
everybody. Listen, man. I don't. Watch this? I got you. Right here, man.
You didn't want
this.
this.
Does Pat Mahomes acknowledge if Baker Mayfield said something crazy to him? Of course not. You know what I'm saying? Because it's different levels. You know what I'm saying? So listen, Magic fan. Instead of shooting at me, you need to be telling your players to shoot in the gym and get better.
I should be telling my players just to shoot in general.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I got Markelle Fultz, who has the shooting range of the restrictive zone.
You need to shoot free throws.
Well, he has a better shooting range than Ben Simmons.
Shoot water gun. Shoot something.
Well, hold on. I think I'll unite us all. Why don't we go after? You want to go after Philly fans? We can make fun of them for all their disappointment. I mean, we know that there's disappointment, but they at least have hope.
That's true.
I make fun of any other team, really, to bring us all together.
Well, Chase, you know what? That may unite us. But let me ask you this, because I'm going to jump into the draft. Let me ask you this.
All right.
So Orlando, if my memory serves me correctly, I know that they've had the number 1 pick, I believe, 2 or 3 times. No, 3 times.
Yes.
Right? So they've had Shaquille O'Neal.
Yep.
Then they got Chris Webber.
Yep. Good memory.
And they traded that out with
it was
traded it for Penny, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Many people forget that. Chris Webber, Magic legend.
I didn't know that, to be honest.
And then Dwight Howard.
Yes.
So Orlando has a history of getting it right. Even if they trade the pick, they get the trade right. So you feel comfortable, even though I'm sure that a lot of names have changed. I don't know who's still in the front office that could potentially have been there in 93 or 92 whenever Shaq got there. But you feel comfortable that the Magic are going to get this pick right.
I feel comfortable with this front office getting the pick right. You're absolutely correct. Like, it's, to me, I look at that Hennigan era, because before these guys came in, we had Rob Hennigan, who was a former OKC assistant GM, and he was supposed to be like the hot young gun that everybody wanted.
It didn't go well.
And, oh no, that's an understatement. Like, that was god awful. Like, we look at the Dwight Howard trade, and that was the only good thing. That everything else just sucked. Like the Aaron Gordon pick, blah. Victor Oladipo was kind of like a good thing, but Mario Hezonja, blah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. Had a better year with the Magic than Chris Webber, but that's not really saying much, I guess, at this point. I trust these people. Now, the problem is which one, because every draft, we have that consensus number 1. Last year's Kate Cunningham, we had the Zion Williamson consensus number 1. There's no consensus number 1. And the thing is with Magic fans, there's going to be that worry of, oh, did we pick the wrong one? Because you can make the argument that, oh, if Cade is a bust, well, he was the consensus number 1.
Sure.
Like, if Zion is a, quote, bust, you can admit he was the consensus number 1. You had 3 options. It's A, B, or C. And what we're worried about is, oh, did we pick the right one? And we're going to see that. We're going to be monitoring that, closely for just, it's going to be so frustrating.
Yeah, we got a similar thing going on currently with the number 1 pick and Trayvon Walker. We're not to that point yet, but there's obviously a conversation to be had there. So let me ask you this. You know the 3, obviously. You've talked a lot about it, but would you like to see them trade out of it if that's an option?
It depends on the haul. But I would not be angry. I would not be storming into the building tomorrow demanding a microphone saying, I am angry. Here's what I have to say. I think they've been trying to smokescreen it. They've been trying to say, oh, I think we might like this guy or we might like this guy, to try to put some more emphasis on other teams to trade up. If they trade down to 3, I'm not offended. Now, if they trade down to 5 or 6, we better be getting a really good haul out of that, or I'm going to be angry, because this is supposed to be the top pick. This is supposed to be the pick that changes your franchise. And right now, on an organization that desperately needs it, that has been, and even Brian can admit this, largely been irrelevant since 2012. Yes, you made 2 postseasons, but really, you won 1 game out of both of those years. Did you really make the postseason? So this one you have to nail. And if you trade out of it, you better be thinking long-term this is going to be good, because right now, they're on their own time.
Listen, you also forgot that you got a Sheck West song out of it as well, one of your players.
Oh, yeah, Mo Bamba. Ooh.
So, question here. So I went back and looked at all the drafts from 2000 to 21, right? And I looked at the top 5 picks, because those are pretty much set in stone. Maybe the order changes, but it feels like between, the 3 that we already know of Holmgren, Banchero, Smith, Ivy, and then it always escapes me the other guy. Yeah. But there's a chance that all these guys could be good, or all these guys could be a bust. And when I say good, I don't mean great, right? So, like I said, I went back and looked at some of the drafts, and I looked at the top 5, and I only could find 3 of them that actually had 3 guys who were stars or superstars on their team. The 03 draft with LeBron, Melo, and Wade. 08, D Rose, Russ, and K Love. And I'm not talking about Cleveland K Love. I'm talking about Minnesota, where he was putting up the stats and being an all-star.
Double machine.
And D Rose, kids, just trust me, okay? D Rose without a knee injury, the whole landscape looks different. Warriors dynasty looks different. LeBron's legacy looks different, probably the way that he was playing. And then and then in 18, which they're not superstars, all of them, but they're pretty good. You got Trey and Luka, who are 5 and 3. And then you had Ayton at 1, and Jaren Jackson Jr., who is a really good player. He's coming into his own right now. So, like, in 21 drafts since 2000, I found 3 where you had at least or only 3, at the most 3, good players, right? Really good players to superstars. And so that's not a really good percentage in my opinion.
No.
Especially when you're picking number 1, because, like, there were some ones on there you're just like, oh, yeah.
Fran Vasquez.
Yeah, we didn't do that. We didn't do that one right. So does that give you any pause? Because I know you said that, Orlando, I said it actually, that they have a good track record, and you feel comfortable that they're going to get this as right as you can get in a draft with no consensus number 1. But does that give you any kind of, like, oh, man, I'm still even more nervous now because even out of these top 5 guys, there's a good chance that, we may not get the one.
Brian, you'll soon know this about me. I'm never fully comfortable. Like, even when I'm a Buccaneers fan, and even when they were going to the Super Bowl, I didn't feel comfortable. Even when they were like 30 points in the lead, like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, didn't feel comfortable. Like, I never have like any comfort when it comes, because you know why? My teams have largely disappointed me. And so, yeah, like, I'm going to, feign the confidence. Oh, I got confidence, but really, like, they could screw this up. But the thing is, I don't know why. I just trust this office a little bit more. It's blind ignorance, like it's blind, allegiance, but I trust them nonetheless, because these are people who've found great talent. Like, it was John Weltman and Jeff Weltman and John Hammond. Before they came, Hammond set up the Toronto team that ended up winning it all, and Weltman founded Giannis Antetokounmpo. So the thing is with Magic fans with the draft, in years past, as you look, you see that the Magic are 1 or 2 picks away from that great player. Like the big one, they wanted Trae Young. What happens? He gets picked just before them, and you end up with Mo Bamba. They wanted Kristaps Porzingis, picked just before them. They ended up getting Mario Hezonja. They wanted Tyler Hero. They got Cole Anthony. I can name off, I think, like 5 more instances where this happened. And right now with this pick, nobody's above them. Thank God. Nobody is above them finally, so they get to choose who they want. And now they have this option. I'm afraid they're going to screw it up because there's now 3 of them. There's no consensus number 1. It's A, B, or C. And you have to pray to God that they get that right answer.
I like what you said there, by the way, because there's a couple other things I want to ask you. But so you just said that Cole Anthony, Tyler Hero, which that's Brian's guy.
That's Brian's guy.
I feel like Brian's going to push back. Probably. I never really know what he's going to say. That's why I love the show. But I feel like even if they wanted Tyler Hero, I think they won getting Cole Anthony. Now that you can look at it this way.
You can look at it, yes. You can kind of look at it and say, all right, like, we may have dodged a bullet. I really like Cole Anthony. I think he's going to develop into his own. I think he kind of got a bad rap in college because he was dealing with injuries, and I think Jamal Mosley is doing a great job improving him. I know Brian might disagree because Tyler Hero,
6 man, right, Brian?
Yeah, absolutely.
We got, a Shaq West song. You got a Jack Harlow song out of him.
Oh, you did.
A bit more commercial.
You did.
I'm not mad about it.
But but either way, like, you can look at it, but at the time, you're still upset because you wanted that. There's always that little what if, and especially as a Magic fan, like, what if, Doc Rivers let Tim Duncan on the plane? What would have happened? And so that's what ultimately hurts Magic fans.
All right, so let me ask you this then. Going back to, you said something that kind of intrigued me, and you said it'd have to be a haul to trade the pick. So when I look at the teams that are picking, right, there's not much reason for the teams like the Thunder or the Rockets or the Pistons to give up a lot of what they have. I don't think you want to go as far as 11, so I'm not going to ask you about the Knicks. But I'll ask you about Sacramento, and I don't think they're trading this guy. But in terms of a haul, if Sacramento was in, Sabonis and what is a haul?
Sabonis is already a Magic legend because we gave him up in the Serge Ibaka deal. Sabonis and a haul.
Because Sabonis fits what you, like, you're drafting a power forward. So Sabonis, you know what I'm saying there? Like, you get the position you need, proven, but what else would you need, or do you even like this guy?
I think if we did the Sabonis trade, one, I like how we're just like opening up all my old Orlando Magic wounds. You want to talk about like the 92 finals or the 96 finals as well, how they got swept and just relive all that trauma.
Listen, man, you got to hold on.
Mistake.
You got to hold on to the fact that you beat Michael Jordan and the Bulls in between their 2-3-peats.
That's our only claim to fame.
Orlando Magic did.
We beat Michael Jordan once. Sabonis deal. That's a really good question. I almost, it would have to be Sabonis and it's gonna be so many picks. It's gonna be maybe one other person. Like,
so you're
Sabonis, maybe Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox.
They're not doing that.
But that won't do that.
So, like, Sabonis and the 4th pick and then another pick isn't enough.
I mean, you might get, Jaden Ivey out of that? Jaden Ivey, maybe Paolo Banchero, because Paolo Banchero is still falling. Here's the crazy thing. Let's think on this for a little bit. Like, if Paolo Banchero falls and Houston Rockets don't take him, I'm assuming right now Jabari goes 1, Chet number 2. If the Houston Rockets don't take Paolo Banchero, I might take that deal. You get Paolo Banchero out of that, you still get Sabonis, and that's not a bad deal. I might be crazy, and a bunch of people probably in the chat thinking, wow, this guy's an idiot. But you know what? I might take that.
It's possible. But it's
possible that might be an idiot?
It might
okay.
be. And then quickly, we'll finish this quickly because we got to go to break. The Knicks are too far away. You probably don't want to go to 11. But if a guy like Julius Randle was involved.
No, I'm not a big Julius Randle guy. 1 year wonder.
There we go. All right, quickly. Who do you want them to pick? I know you just said you've seen a lot of Jabari Smith. Is that the guy you want, or who do you want?
Before I started on Chet, but after reading more, I like Jabari a lot more. I like what he brings. I wouldn't be upset if they bring in Paolo. So it's right now Jabari, close second Paolo, then Chet.
And quickly, you spent a lot of time working on this. I know you talked to me, you talked to Brent, you talked to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Tell people where they can find this podcast. You talked to a ton of people about who they think the Magic should pick. You worked hard on it. Let the people know where they can find it.
The podcast is called Bunkers Burning Hot Take. It's a sports podcast where I just give out random hot takes, but I had this last episode that Casey's referring to where I spoke with a bunch of people on who they think the Orlando Magic should draft, because let's be honest, I said it a bunch of times already. We don't know who the consensus number 1 is, so I got the thoughts of a bunch of people because, let's be honest, national media doesn't cover the Orlando Magic.
That's one thing you have in common with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chase Bunker, 104.5 WOKV is where you can catch him at Chase Bunker on Twitter. Appreciate your time, man.
Thanks a lot.
Me and Brian are back on the other side. We got more to do before Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. We'll be right back.
Sell your home hassle-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and skip the hassle of constant cleaning and costly repairs. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry, so you can sell your home stress-free and make the most money. When you get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. One of our clients, Laura, said, I had a great experience with Mark Spain Real Estate. Their guaranteed offer was more than I expected to get from a home. The entire process was seamless and efficient. I highly recommend them. Thank you so much, Laura. I've been in business for over 30 years and have served over 44,000 clients, and I know what matters most: a quick sell and maximum profit. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Certain restrictions apply.
Honey, I'm home.
Don't honey me. I'm still mad at you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You and those cheap do-it-yourself cameras. I told you, call SafeTouch, but no, you tried to save a buck. So when those two thieves broke in, our kids were locked in the closet trying to call 911. SafeTouch cameras would have alerted the thieves that they were being recorded, and you and I would have been notified with actual video on our smartphones. The SafeTouch two-way communicator would have already had the emergency authorities on the way.
I know, we really need the SafeTouch 5-star security and surveillance system. I'll call today.
I already did. SafeTouch is installing our new 5-star surveillance system in the morning.
Every family needs the SafeTouch security and surveillance system. Call now and get a free demonstration. 888-723-8682 or online at safetouch.com. Dramatization of actual event. EF 0000233. Terms and conditions apply.
Be yourself and bank your way at Community First. Get free checking with rewards, your paycheck deposited a day early, and free digital tools. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
I started my business in 1986 and began paying employees.
I would handwrite checks and say, "Here you go. Don't cash it until Tuesday." That came to a screeching halt when a teenage employee said his dad wanted to see his pay stub. Pay stub? We don't have pay stubs. Get back to work. He said, "Dad works for the government and state law requires I receive a pay stub." Uh-oh. Hi, I'm Mike Capel, CEO of Patriot Software. After many emergency calls, I learned how to correctly withhold payroll taxes and create pay stubs. I avoided handcuffs and an orange jumpsuit that day, barely. That's why I created Patriot Software, to help small business owners do their payroll taxes correctly with pay stubs. And if you need help, we will help you for free. Go to patriotsoftware.com and enter promo code RADIO, and I'll give you 2 months of payroll processing free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
Get a $1,000 bonus when you pre-order the all-new 3-row 2022 Acura MDX SUV at your First Coast Acura dealers. Shop market-leading APR offers and pre-order savings at firstcoastacuradealers.com. Shop loyalty appreciation offers.
In Florida, it's not if the storms are coming, it's when the storms are coming. And that's why you need the Chief. Jacksonville's chief meteorologist, Mike Burrish, with a proven track record of keeping local families safe. Rain, heat, hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes. We get it all. Just more reasons why you need the Chief. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, backed by the First Alert Weather Team. Only on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
At Boost Mobile, you get the power of the iPhone SE when you switch, which means the power to stream your favorite shows, download all the music, the power to FaceTime your ex.
It's over. Stop calling me.
On second thought, don't call your ex. Get an iPhone SE for just $19.99 when you switch. All on one of America's largest 5G networks. More power to save. Boost Mobile. Phone offer limited to new customers and one per line. Additional restrictions apply. 5G not available everywhere. See boostmobile.com for details. And stop calling your ex. She doesn't want to hear from you anymore.
Action Sports Jax. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jax. Watch, listen, subscribe.
Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. Brian Middleton, best line of the day. I said, "Are you going to get it? Has nothing to do with anything you need to know about." He said, "What do you mean? I'm me." I said, I'm me. Brian Middleton, the broadcast on the ones and twos. Casey Kurtz, Chase Bunker with us from 104.5 WOKV. Like, is somebody on over there, or like, are they just not?
I don't know.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. I appreciate the
Awesome.
nonchalantness.
Good.
I mean,
that's the kind of energy we need over here.
One thing we will tell you about this station compared to that one, that one's a little more like.
Yeah.
We just kind of do what we want over here. Like, I know there's stuff that has to go down over there.
I mean, I'm watching Twitter. I'll see if, like, news is breaking, but...
Wow.
What would it take to make you, like, sprint out of here over there?
Oh, please don't make me answer that.
Okay, so something serious.
Like, it would have to be, like, serious breaking news right now. Like
national or local? Like...
Both. Like, if it is, like, if it's a national news, like, if the Senate just votes on this upcoming gun violence bill, then, yeah, I'm going to have to sprint over there. Or,
all right, guys.
Yeah.
Cash it or trash it.
Tell them to bring me my money.
On Action Sports Jax Overtime.
I also forgot we were running very short on time. I'm sorry about that.
Man,
what do we got, Brian Middleton?
It's all good. First topic, Casey Kurtz, because you don't need the
I don't need the rules.
All
And then
right.
we'll show Chase how it works. And we're not going to have that many of them because I keep talking. Sorry, go ahead.
Absolutely. All right. First thing up. Okay. All-Star votes. So the first round of All-Star voting for baseball is out. And actually, it's pretty interesting how fan-driven the votes are in baseball, at least for phase one, as I was, researching this, okay? But right now, the top vote leaders in the American and National Leagues are the Yankees' Aaron Judge and the Dodgers' Mookie Betts. Cash it or trash it, Casey Kurtz. Based off of the seasons Judge and Betts are having, the fans are getting it right, having these two at the top of the All-Star list right now.
Cash it?
Tell them to bring me my money.
You don't sound confident about that.
Like, I'm definitely on Judge, 100%. Mookie, I don't know the numbers straight off the top of my head, but I do know he's on my fantasy team, and I'm pretty sure he's the second position-ranked player, so I know the stats have to be pretty good, but he is hurt right now. So Judge, without a doubt, he's that dude. he's going to make the Yankees feel really stupid for not locking him up before now, and I think he's probably going to leave. But they're definitely right there. I can't see. Here's the thing: I'm not thinking of anybody in the NL that's like jumping out at me like he should be the leading vote getter if it's not Mookie. Mookie's a heck of a player, so I hope he's healthy in time for the All-Star game, mostly for my fantasy team because I need him back. But I'll cash it, Brian. I'm with you.
All right, Chase, you ready?
Ready.
NBA draft. Mm-hmm. So over the course of NBA history, there have been many perceived second-round duds that turned out to be certified studs, and also vice versa, right? And with the draft starting in a few hours, I wanted to take a look back at some of the best second-round picks ever, like Manu Ginobili, Marc Gasol, Dennis Rodman, even Steve Kerr, just to name a few. Bunch of good ones.
Really?
But the question will be focused around two names, the Joker and Draymond. So cash it or trash it. Chase, you would prefer the Joker's NBA career in its entirety as of right now over Draymond Green's?
I would say trash it.
There you go. You know what?
I would say trash it because you know why? Winning cures a lot of my problems. And you know what? If I yeah, you're the MVP, but you also know what? You got swept in the first round. Who gives a bleep if you got that? Like, yo, MVP, I was the best player. Best player on a bad team. Like, who's your second best player? Aaron Gordon. Trust me, I know about Aaron Gordon. So yeah, I want to be Draymond. 4 championships? I mean, known as that guy? Yeah, I'll take Draymond.
4-time champ, 4-time All-Star, 4-time defensive first-team defensive player of the year, led the league in steals in 2017, reinventing the path for current players doing podcasting during their current career. Man, you got it right, Chase.
All right, I did.
I tell you what, we don't have time for another one.
Yeah, we do. Give me one fast.
All right, let me find, food.
Okay.
Food. There was a list out there saying the top foods in each state. The one for Florida was in Boca Raton. It's called Meat Eatery and Tap Room. Casey Kurtz, cash it or trash it. You are 90% sure that without even trying food from this spot, that you know a better burger place in this state.
Give me the title one more time.
Meat Eatery and Tap Room.
Yeah, cash it.
There you go.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Agree or disagree?
Oh, yeah, agree. Like, if any place, like, I'm like Ron Swanson. Like, you hear Meat Eatery? Yeah, I'm already in.
There you go. Very good. I know we're out of time now, so we'll hit the break. Action Sports Jax Overtime. We talk to Matt Davis down at the Jumbo Shrimp next. We'll be right back.
Let me ask you something. Are you tired of hearing no? It's kind of a bummer, right? Nobody likes to hear no, so then let me ask the obvious. Are you ready to hear yes? Then you better get to Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. Yes, Arlington has 400 pre-owned on the lot and ready to test drive. Yes, Arlington has all makes and models. Yes, Arlington will help you get financed. Plus, Arlington's 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. One last question. Are you going to find the vehicle you really want? Yes. Just shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
This man has just entered the gas price madness zone, pushed over the edge by skyrocketing gas prices. The remedy? Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Hey, wait a minute. Did you just say there's a free app I can get that'll actually pay me cash back on every gallon of gas I buy?
Yes. Escape the gas price madness zone with the Upside app and earn real cash back on every gallon of gas you buy.
Yeah. Enough of the theatrics. Just tell me more about this Upside app.
Okay, it's super easy. Just download the free app and use it whenever you buy gas. Upside users can earn hundreds of dollars in cash back.
Wow, thanks, announcer guy. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PICK for an extra 25 cents per gallon or more cash back on your first fill up. You can cash out anytime. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PICK for a 25 cents per gallon or more bonus on your first tank.
Hi, I'm Pauline Savigny, owner of Grace Aerospace and a hyper-connected mentoring graduate of the Jacksonville Women's Business Center. Being a member of Jax Chamber and involved with JWBC has provided me with many great new relationships. Success doesn't come without strong support, and the people of JWBC have provided exactly that. JWBC furthers my confidence in that deliverance by providing a strong group of women business leaders to connect with, learn from, and lean on. For more information, visit jaxchamberfoundation.org.
Koala insulation.
Hey,
I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. That summer heat's right around the corner, and so are those high energy bills. Don't just sweat it out. Do something about it. Call Koala Insulation today for your free evaluation. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
What's up? It's Casey. Check out our brand new show, The Dream 18 Show, sponsored by Florida Georgia Windows and Doors, right here on ESPN 690 on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. If you like golf, you're going to like this show. The Dream 18 Show, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Couple minutes to go on a Thursday. Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. The broadcast on Brian Middleton, the broadcast on the ones and twos. Casey Kurtz with you as well. We'll go down to the stadium in a second. Brian, I got something to say.
What you got?
It's my mom's birthday.
Yeah, you should have told me. I would have had something set, man. Don't do that next year. You got to tell me something like that. Mom's birthday, Dad's birthday, Amanda's birthday, Blue's birthday. I got to have the stuff ready to play, man. Come on, man. Tighten up.
It's true. Amanda's birthday is next, just so you know.
Okay.
Coming up next month.
No, we got the same birthday. That's why I remember her birthday.
Oh, that's right.
You don't have to warn me about hers. I know hers.
That's right.
It's all good.
So anyway,
happy birthday, Mom.
I'm not sure if my mom's listening, but happy birthday, Mom. I'll call you later. I haven't talked to her yet today. Is that bad?
Yeah, tighten up, dog.
I texted her.
Nah, dog, tighten.
Well, like, she works. I'm not going to call her at work, you know, and then my work is on when she gets off. So, like, we're still working. So I'll call her here in a bit. Yeah, probably. I sent an e-gift card. Is that good?
Man, there's nothing like hearing the voice of your child, or so I've heard.
Yeah, that's true. How do you know?
Yeah,
you might have kids. I don't know you like that.
You're right. I may not.
I've known you for a while, but I don't know anything actually about you.
You clearly don't.
It's fascinating.
But it's okay.
Yeah, so now we're out of time, but I wanted to work that in. But Matt Davis down at the stadium, Shrimp and Bulls coming up. Matt, don't really have anything specific to ask you, but I know Scott's an NBA fan. I can't remember if you are. Do you care at all about the NBA draft that will be going on simultaneously while you are calling the game tonight?
You know, honestly, I used to. I've kind of grown away from it. I like college basketball, but it's just so hard to follow the draft and the players. I really just stick to Alabama basketball, and there hasn't been much to root for lately.
I forgot you're an Alabama guy. Like, that makes me like you less. You're a good dude, but
it's not a bandwagon thing. I went there because my dad went there, so hopefully that's a little bit better.
That is better. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's still not great, but it's better. So, anyway, what do we got coming up tonight? I remember the other day when we talked about a specific car. I had my speculations, and they ended up coming true. Wander Franco, is he still in the lineup for Durham tonight?
Yes, he is. He's starting at shortstop again, hitting second. Unsure how long he'll actually be here with the Bulls, but you have to think that since the Rays are at home, it would be nice and easy for him to kind of finish out whatever rehab assignment he has here and then catch the Rays while they're still at home.
That is a good call, and hopefully he comes back soon. As a Rays fan, they have nobody, literally nobody that can hit right now, so we need this guy back in the lineup. We got the Bulls and we got the Shrimp coming up right here on ESPN 690. Me and Brian are done. We're back tomorrow, but right now it's Matt Davis on the call. Matt, have a great game.
Thanks, guys. It should be another good one. It's hot and steamy outside, 100 degrees, just shy of about 15 minutes before first pitch. Wander Franco rehabbing for Durham. On the other side for the Jumbo Shrimp, Brian Anderson down on a rehab assignment from the Miami Marlins. Should be a great day. Eliezer Hernandez on the mound for Jacksonville. Shrimp on deck coming up next on the Jumbo Shrimp Network, powered by FIS.
Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is 15 minutes away. It's time for Shrimp on Deck, featuring interviews from inside the clubhouse, scores from around the International League, and the Miami Marlins organization, and a preview of tonight's ball game. Now, here's your host, Matt Davis.
And welcome into 121 Financial Ballpark for another edition of Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. The Jumbo Shrimp hosting the Durham Bulls in Game 3 of this 6-game set. Jacksonville opened up the series